phone you're about to listen to is incredibly stupid. Listener discretion is advised.
I saw this movie. It's called Jurassic Park. We did it. Look, why are we so shocked by current events? Look, why these AI things, they could turn against us. Yes, they will. Did you see Skynet? In Terminator 2, we have that. We have Jurassic Park. Life finds a way. We're all going to die by our own creations.
Featuring Panama Ted.
I'm a dork and stupid.
Timmy Hall.
I love a good, thin meat.
And a crap ton of random sounds from the internet.
His lower body is ridiculously thick.
You're a little stupid.
Not on my watch.
My butt's sore. Holler.
I like that laugh.
Welcome to Man and Bone.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome in. Hello, Bone.
Hello, man.
We got a big program today. Girthy, jam-packed show. Our special guest will be here shortly. Inside the NFL, all the news and notes you need coming up at 3:46. Rapid fire. At 4:30. Game show in the 5 o'clock hour. What's the game, Boner?
Today we're doing sibling trivia. So trivia about famous...
About my sibling?
Yes, your sister. I've got all the news and notes. No, it's about famous people who are siblings, ages, things like that.
Do you find yourself apologizing to your sibling for things that you did when you were kids?
Oh, yeah. I mean, over the years, that stuff comes out in just conversations where we've been like, oh, hey, that probably wasn't cool what I did there. And vice versa. Like, we both have done that, me and my brother.
Like my sister, very hairy.
Okay.
The women in my family tend to have some upper lip hair.
Okay.
And so she's going through puberty, as you do, and she started to develop the Fu Manchu look.
Okay. Well, it happens, right? You can't control that.
She dyed blonde because she thought that would make it look better. But instead, I would just, sneak up behind her and say, let me tell you something, brother.
That's probably not the best thing to do.
No, it's probably not. Now she's grown and has electrolysis, and that's good.
Well, right. As a kid, like a teenager, I'm guessing your parents were like, yeah, we're going to go get that taken care of for you. And then she doesn't have her own money to just go say, well, I'm getting this done myself if she wants to. But, you're right. That wasn't nice. Should have done that.
That's what you save for in the Riccardotti clan. Not college, not a car, hair removal. If you're of the female persuasion.
Dude, I think about that all the time, how women have it so much more difficult. Where, I've never shaved my pits, my legs, my chest, my face. I've rarely shaved my face. I'm saying...
I did my chest once.
And?
Didn't care for it.
No. It's itchy.
It
does come back, right?
Yeah, itchy.
Yeah. But see, what I'm saying is, if at 14, it was it's socially unacceptable for you to have any, hair on your upper lip, I don't know what I would have done, because I would shave in the mornings, when I was in high school, and it's by afternoon, it's all back.
Oh, was that thick?
Oh, yeah. I have dark hair, so it would show up immediately. And so it's for me, I had to shave it, but it wasn't that was just poured of pride, is what I'm saying. I didn't have to, deal with a stigma about it. That's all.
Jackets hosting Ottawa tonight. Coverage starts 6:30 here on the Fan.
This is, what do you say now? It's
unlikely unless you win out.
Right.
And even that is an if, because you've got multiple teams ahead of you that are also going to be playing games.
Yeah, I don't really... It's not mathematically over, but it's very tough. So can't drop any more at this point. You just got to hope for the best, and hopefully it starts tonight. What would be good, though, is to start with scoring a goal. Let's just start smaller objectives. I almost said goals. Smaller objectives, and then we get to the larger one of winning the game.
The Reds did last night. How you doing, Ted?
I'm doing good, Mike.
Reds got a 2-0 victory in San Francisco behind Hunter Green.
Who 2 runs.
By the way, Teddy, Hunter Green?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a bright future.
He's pretty good.
I think he's all right.
Yeah. He's the ace.
I love that. It's what you wanted when you drafted him how many years ago.
Were you okay with Francona pulling him last night?
I don't know. It seemed kind of silly. He had a nice, you were up a little bit there, and you're at 8 2/3 innings. You could let him finish it out, right?
Teddy, He's at 104 pitches.
Come on.
We can't.
8 2/3. He got pulled. I didn't know that. I didn't realize with one.
Throwing a
out to go.
shutout. 104 pitches.
Wow.
See you later.
You kind of got to let him. Give him the batter, right? I don't know. Do they have 2 outs and then he walked a guy? Is that what happened? I didn't see the end. Nobody knows? We're all just dead silent.
Teddy's looking at Jen Winters is in there.
Okay. Stuff's happening. I don't know what's going on.
Special guest is arriving.
Oh, okay.
He's here or arriving?
What does arriving mean? Like he's walking
into the building.
Okay.
Do you want to hold it till the next segment or just have him walk in during this segment? What do you want to do? You're the producer. Don't look at me like that. Teddy looks at me, oh, man, I don't know. I just push the buttons.
I mean,
give me some guidance here, Teddy.
We got a few minutes here. We can, if he comes in the next minute or two, we can start with him now, and then
he's going to come in now. I see Fish bringing him in now.
All right, there we go.
Really, the whole show's just leading up to this.
Yeah, it is.
Look who walked in. Oh,
there we are, walking right in.
He is the special guest of the day.
Yeah, Matt Fishman, our
never,
program director.
He's never
the
special guest. He is Ryan Day, Coach.
Okay. What's up, guys? How we doing?
How you doing?
We're not getting up and shaking your hand, but we can reach across and shake. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you.
Did you see the pumpkin version of you that is right here? Waiting for you.
I actually noticed the Coors Lights before I noticed that.
Well, you could pop one of those open if you want to.
No, right now. But appreciate it.
How's spring practice going for you?
It's really kind of gone now. We only have really the spring game left. We had a big practice today. It's been good. I kind of went into the spring game or spring practice feeling that, we just got done with a long season and we needed to, kind of heal up and we played a lot of football. And then I realized, most of the guys who did that just walked out the door. So we got a lot of young guys in there, and this has probably been the most physical spring we've had in a long time. And it's been good. We're young. The effort has been excellent. The intensity has been excellent. I feel like we are getting better. And we got an opportunity to go into the stadium on Saturday and play in front of a crowd, which we need to do because obviously we know we're opening up against Texas game 1.
Aliens are coming down. They say we have a death ray. We're going to kill the entire planet unless you pick a starting quarterback. Who are you picking today? or you can sacrifice the entire planet. It's up to you.
Yeah, well, I demand a recount, I guess. We got a long way to go. But I tell you that, they're competing. They're working every day. It's a grind. It's a grind being the quarterback at Ohio State. There's a lot that goes with it. And, some days you feel like you're on top of the world. Some days you feel like you're getting smoked. You know what I mean? You just feel like, you're having a hard time. But these guys are working. They're putting days on days. And I feel like we need about 5 more weeks of work. But it's good. I mean, those guys have had some really good plays, and so once the spring's over, we'll come up for air, figure out where we're going, and then go from there.
Well, last year this time we heard similar things, right? About it's a battle, and I get the vibe that you enjoy, especially being the offensive guy that you are, former quarterback. You want that competition. Last year, though, a little different situation where you had a guy who played a ton of college football transferring in. We all on the outside thought, all right, I mean, if he does what he's supposed to do, he probably wins that job. This one is a little different because you just have a lot of guys who have been around a lot of college football. They've watched it mostly from the sidelines, but they haven't had that starting experience. So is this a little different than where you were last year at this time, where maybe you were a little further ahead in who you thought would probably take that job?
Yeah, and I feel like those guys had more experience. Will had more experience. Devin had been in the program a little longer, and then we had the young guys that were coming up. And you have to go earn the position. I think that's the thing that, the team is watching, everybody's watching to make sure that, guys earn the position. So you always have to do it that way. But when you have somebody who had as much experience as Will had, you can project where you think it's going to go from there. You have a body of work to work with. When you don't have that, which we've gone through this before at Ohio State, you're projecting a little bit on where they're going, and then every day when you go out there, you're trying to evaluate the best you can on what it's going to look like, and that's not an easy thing to do. But I think certainly all 3 guys that we have right now have the talent to do it. The question is, and this is the thing, we could talk about this for hours in terms of quarterback play, but when you play basketball, you play baseball, you play lacrosse, all these different sports, you play a ton of games. You don't play the game of football very often. And so when you're a quarterback, how often, you can say, well, you played 7-on-7 or you threw routes on air. That's not the game of football at all. You got guys trying to rip your face off in front of you every single day. And, that's why we went live the other day in practice, because I want those guys to feel what real bullets are like, because it's different when that's happening. And so even in high school now, these high school guys are not live in practice. They do these 7-on-7s all the time. That's not real football. So you're seeing these guys like a Will Howard, like a Michael Penix, like a, Bo Nix, Max Duggan, these guys in their 5th year who, after they've played a lot of football, start really becoming great football players because they get the experience of playing. That's hard to do when you have young players. CJ was a great example of that. You started to see CJ really come on late in his career, and then obviously the Georgia game was sort of like the finale for him, and then when we finally get him right there, he's out the door, and it's like, oh my gosh, all the work that we put in for that. But that's part of the growing process. And so, these guys are still in that phase right now. So you cannot replace experience, and we're trying to do the best we can to get them into game experience in practice. 2-minute, third down, red zone, move the ball, making them live, do those types of things so that we can see their reaction so they can get those reps under their belt.
We've got a lot more to dig into with Ryan Day, and we'll do so next. Cowan, Man, and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
Overall, roadways are clear and accident-free at this time, but keep in mind a little bit of construction out there on eastbound I-70, right lane blocked off beyond State Route 142. This report is sponsored by Ohio Basement Authority. Is your concrete cracking? Is your uneven walkway dangerous? Contact Ohio Basement Authority, the concrete lifting experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at ohiobasementauthority.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed. I'm Eddie Zellick, 497.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by The Waterworks. Get up to $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system with The Waterworks. Visit online today at thewaterworks.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, 80% lean Kroger brand ground beef is on sale. 3-pound packages are $3.99 a pound with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Yeah, boss asked us to get the Ohio Lottery kiosks ready for the new $20 scratch-off, $2 million extreme cash. With $38 million in total prizes, we had to go big. We had cup holders, monster truck tires, even installed air horns in case somebody reveals the extreme symbol and wins every prize on the scratch-off. Boss thinks the light show's a bit much, but gotta celebrate $2 million top prize winners somehow. So yeah, play $2 million extreme cash from the Ohio Lottery. And if you can tell my boss I did a good job, that'd be cool too. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Before you start your day, UDF has already started baking your breakfast. We're making biscuits and croissants in our bakery served with sausage, egg, and cheese before you hit your first alarm. Fresh baked breakfast sandwiches from United Dairy Farmers. UDF, mornings made for you.
This is big. Rent-A-Center's biggest discount is on. From April 6th to April 12th, take 50% off the total cost to own on all items in-store or online. Only at Rent-A-Center. 50% off offer reduces the total amount necessary to acquire ownership pursuant to rental purchase agreement. Offer valid on new agreements entered into April 6, 2025 through April 12, 2025. Participating locations only.
When divorce places your home, finances, or kids in jeopardy, Cordell & Cordell is here to fight to protect your interests. Cordell & Cordell is committed to advocating for your rights in divorce and family law matters, providing the legal experience to fight for success. Call today for a consultation and details on our military service member pricing.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
If the HOA has your face on a wanted poster because of your hideous garage door, we are Deluxe Door Systems. For 30 years, transforming the look of people's homes with beautiful Clopay doors for less than you think. DeluxeStoreSystems.com.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino Columbus. Bone, did you know that the college basketball championship game is coming?
That's right. You want to go to HollywoodColumbus.com to reserve a table and guarantee your spot for that, for the draft watch party, all kinds of good stuff. You know what draft?
What draft?
All the draft.
We can't say it, but it's a big draft.
Plus, with their Tea Time giveaway, you could win a golf cart or $10,000 in pen slot play Sunday, April 27th.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Jackets are fighting for a playoff spot, and they need your help. Send your supportive love waves through the radio by listening to Jackets coverage here on The Fan. If they lose, it's your fault. No pressure. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It'll look beautiful outside with plenty of sunshine. However, don't let that fool you, as temperatures will struggle to get into the low 40s. With breezy winds, it'll feel like we're in the 20s to low 30s. For tonight, another freezing night as lows drop down in the mid to upper 20s under mostly clear skies. And for Wednesday, 50s in the afternoon. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
Some fans drink the Kool-Aid. These guys drink the bleach. This is Man and Bone.
Our special guest this hour is a little guy named Ryan Day.
I don't know if he's that little. He's taller than me.
He's regretting it. Today's his wife's birthday, and you came in to talk to us?
Priorities are certainly in line here. We're good.
Happy birthday to Nina Day. She's turning 27 years old today.
That's right.
Chip Kelly leaves during the offseason. Was that something you were expecting? Was that something that took you by surprise? Walk me through that process.
No, when we talked about it last year, I knew that it was something that, he was interested in possibly looking at the NFL again. I think he enjoys the NFL. I had no expectations of him staying for more than a year. I felt like it was important in that first year of not calling plays to have somebody like Chip in here who, had the experience, somebody that I trusted and knew. And, I just said, hey, to sum up a lot of long conversations, you come in here, we win a national championship, and then you have an opportunity to go see what's out there for yourself in the NFL, and love for you to stay for, a long time. But if you have something like that, and certainly this opportunity was a great opportunity for him. So not something that, surprised me, but happy for him, and certainly did a great job when he was here.
Not that you're ripping this guy off, but I seem to recall a coach down at Alabama last decade plus that had a similar kind of thing where big name coaches would come in, have a couple years of success, and then on they go to the next thing. I mean, that's not a bad model. That tends to be a really good way, I would think.
As long as the season ends the way that it just ended.
Yes, absolutely. It ended that way for Nick Saban. It's now ended that way for Ryan Day. So I think that's a pretty good way to handle it.
Well, you watch Coach Saban and, be foolish not to look at some of the things that he did. And, for me, trying to have continuity on the other side of the ball like he did. But then, like you said, having guys who had former head coaching experience or play calling in the NFL, that makes a lot of sense. Now, it has to fit your culture. There's just certain, personalities that would or wouldn't work in the culture. And so that's important, but it's great to have that type of experience.
Walk me through the situation with Jim Knowles. And please feel free to include any petty comments or grudges.
We're
that
really
you're holding.
hoping to go viral with this. So whatever you can throw in to get that out there, we'd love that.
Yeah. No, I'm probably not going to get into all the details of it all. But when he was here, one of the things that I said to him was we were looking for someone who's a head coach of the defense, and he did that. And he did a great job for 3 years, and he's from Pennsylvania and all those types of things, and so happy that he's at a place that he wants to be, and we're thankful for what he did for us, but probably not going to dive into all the details of all the conversation.
Well, we got a lot of Coors Light here. They got a couple in you.
Going to need a few more of those.
Maybe Pumpkin Ryan Day. You can channel Pumpkin Ryan Day, and we can hear kind of a little bit more on that. Now, I know that us looking on the outside in, there was always something made up about, Larry Johnson's been here a very long time. Obviously, he has a big history with that college that I hear over at Pennsylvania. Jim Knowles may know something about now. How did those two guys interact last year after that Oregon game?
Yeah.
What part of that relationship? Because that was what we always tended to speculate. Was there a change there? Did something happen different with that dynamic? The defense looked totally different to us on the outside in after kind of that part of the season. Did you notice that internally that there was a big change there?
So, there's been a lot, I think, of speculation, like you said, of kind of like, all right, so what happened after that game?
That's what we do all the time.
Yeah,
speculate.
Come on, every week, we won't have this problem.
Right. The first thing I would say, and you can ask Larry, Jim, or anybody who was in that room, there was never any issue between Larry and Jim. Never. I thought they both were very professional, got along well, worked together well. And if you grab either of those guys, they would say the same thing. But when we got out of that game, I mean, the bottom line was what happened in that game was we didn't get aligned fast enough. We didn't. Our nickel, Jordan Hancock, was asked to chase, Tez around. He was not getting lined up quick enough. And, to make a long story short, one of the big changes that we made was we were not going to go chase, the slot receiver into the boundary. We had to get up quick, get the play in fast. There's certain times where, you want to kind of see what the formation is, and you hold the format, you hold the call. We weren't getting lined up. That's the bottom line. And we didn't execute very well. There were other things schematically that we did tweak a little bit here and there. But Jim was awesome. I mean, he was accountable, but there was real conversation about things we needed to change. But I think from then on, we got our cleats in the dirt and we played. We challenged more. You notice in that game, there was just a lot of free access runs at our corners. We wanted to start challenging more, making it harder to get down the field. And I felt like, just the tale of two games. We look at the Oregon game, 8 sacks, in this one, and then obviously the first one. You see, once we get aligned and we got set, we were a very good defense. So, it wasn't just that, but that was probably the crux and the biggest change that we had to make. So that means, and not to get into the X's and O's of it all, but if you line up formation into the boundary, that means, now Jordan would have to line up maybe in the box a little bit, have to take on some runs, as opposed to the matchup, where he goes into the boundary. So that played into it because if you remember, there were other games where, in the past, our nickel would line up to the field, and now you had maybe a one-on-one situation with like our boundary safety. If you remember some games where that hurt us a little bit. So there's that back and forth conversation of that. And so, all those little things can add up in moments like that. So we wanted to get that fixed. Because in those moments, the players want answers. What exactly happened? We know we're a good defense, and we know we can be better than that. So that was one thing that, I made sure that, we all understood that this moving forward, we are going to get the call in, we're going to get our cleats in the dirt, and we're going to challenge the line of scrimmage.
So Matt Patricia comes in. What attracted you the most about him? And don't say the beard, because he's not allowed to have a better beard than yours. I hope that's in the contract.
Well, he's got the college beard now.
Oh, yeah. It's that
trimmed up?
Yeah, well, it's different than the NFL beard.
Well, he had grubs living in it.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. But
how long does that take before that? Does that ever come back? Do you think the NFL beard, or is there an edict? That is this like the Yankees a little bit where you have certain facial hair
requirements? You can have it, but it has to be groomed.
Yeah, we might have to have someone checking him in at the front door before he walks in. Be like, all right, you got to go to the barber shop that's over there on the corner of the Woody. Matt, first off, I've known Matt. I grew up in New England, so I watched him, certainly what he did with the Patriots, and had a chance to know him, sort of as an acquaintance, not as a friend, but as an acquaintance, know who he was. certainly respected the work that he did and the Super Bowl runs and the rings that he had and everything that he did. But even when I was with the Eagles and we played against them, or, when I was with the 49ers and, just understood, how the Patriots ran their defense, the one thing that I recognized was that every year they always put their players in a position to be successful. And that was different. You remember he had Vince Wilf work for a while, who was the nose, who just, they played a zero nose with him. And then that changed. They played a little bit more of a different front where they had the overhangs. And then, they would change things and adapt their defense based on the personnel that they had. Well, I think that, we needed to, make some adjustments off of last year's team. We're losing all 4 of those guys up front. I think we need to, look hard at, having some changes. We're not going to, change all that much because I want to have, continuity and the back end and what Tim Walton's doing, because he's a big part of this as well. He's one of the co-coordinators. But for Matt, has a great, again, a background in the NFL, has called, games, obviously, in the Super Bowl, has rings. And, now that we're playing in the playoff system, having some of that experience, I think, pays off. So the combination of who he is as a person, the combination of understanding what how to change up fronts based on personnel, and then the experience of calling a play and letting a defense kind of build as the season goes on, to me, led me down that road. And by the way, had a bunch of interviews with a lot of different people who I just didn't think was the right fit at the time, and we've got great feedback. The players love being around Matt, the coaches, so the recruits have been great, and so it's been exciting to see him work.
Speaking of guys with beards, you have a great one, as we mentioned. I have a beard. It's not that great. I have been thinking about coloring my beard, and people around the station have said, don't ask Ryan Day about that because he doesn't color his beard. And I have said, well, I'll let you speak for yourself. Do you have any tips for me, or is that just
is that something you don't even natural that you don't do anything
had to worry about? No. Have you ever had to worry about that?
No. But
look at that.
If you get, there's plenty of grays in there. Trust me, you just maybe can't see them. But try being the head coach at Ohio State long enough, you're gonna have plenty of grays. But no, I just, people will say that all the time, and we just laugh, and.
Those you don't have time to worry about stuff like that.
I mean, are you kidding me? I don't know if you see me in these press conferences, but I'm not exactly getting ready for the press conference. And then I've seen some pictures of when I first became the head coach and where I am right now. I mean, the last thing in the world I'm worried about is how I look. Trust me.
You looked very fresh-faced when you got here. Very fresh-faced.
Yeah, well.
Now you look like a president who served the
I was just going to say, it's like when you see a 2-term president, and you're like, wow. But you know what, though? You're older than I am, and no one would guess that. So, you're doing great.
You look like that when you were in 8th grade.
I'm doing the Barbara Bush, where I just start out at 30 looking like I'm 60, so when I'm 60, people say he never ages. That's what I'm hoping for.
We've got all these questions have been meaningless. We have real questions for Ryan Day.
That's right.
Coming up in 2 minutes. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
Picking up some slow traffic eastbound I-70 between Livingston and US 33, a minute or two worth of delays in through there. Traffic also heavy northbound 71 between 670 and 11th Avenue. This report is sponsored by NJM Insurance. While some insurance companies use gimmicks to get your attention, NJM would rather focus on putting their policy holders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Visit njm.com to learn more. I'm Eddie Zellick, 497.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $200 cash bonus with a home equity line of credit from BMI FCU. Visit bmifcu.org/home-equity for more details.
Foodie alert.
Alton Brown's farewell tour, Last Bite, is coming to Columbus on April 22nd at Mershon Auditorium.
Expect culinary chaos and scientific surprises.
Tickets are on sale at Ticketmaster. Don't let this delicious opportunity slip away.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
spring forward, Columbus, with the Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling Services. We're here to thaw you out with this limited time offer. Get up to $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system. This offer is too good to pass up. The Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling now together to serve you better with $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system. This offer won't last. Call us today, 614-232-2222. That's 614-232-2222.
Hey, it's Anthony for Orthopedic One, where you'll find Central Ohio's most trusted and experienced group of orthopedic experts. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com. Orthopedic One. This is where you go to get better.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Barely famous, incredibly stupid. Back to Man and Bone.
Happy Tuesday. We got a special guest today. If you're watching on YouTube, you see Pumpkin Ryan Day, but real Ryan Day is actually sitting here too. All right, hard question for you. Michigan game happens, right? You're on the field, flag planting, all of that. Pepper spray. Jack Sawyer's running around like a crazy person. You're sort of staring into the abyss. At that moment, what were you thinking? Because I'll tell you, I didn't think you could recover from that. I doubted you. In that moment, did you doubt yourself?
No, not at all. But you know, I mean, you live 365 days out of the year for that game, and so for it to go the way it did, it's almost like, I mean, it's like just a disaster.
Looked like you couldn't believe it.
Yeah, you just can't believe. You can't believe what, you know. And then here comes the flags, and you know, now our guys aren't going to stand for that, and it's like you got to be kidding me. Like, is this really happening? You're almost in shock because, you know, it can't possibly matter more to anybody than it means to me and my family and the players and the coaches in that Woody. So, you know, when something like that happens, it's you know, you can't even imagine what it's like. So when you live it 365 days out of the year and the game went the way it went, you know, you almost become paralyzed, you know. And so, but then what are you going to do about it? You know, and it's like anything else in life. You know, you have to, you know, take a moment like that and learn from it, grow, and then move on. You know, and that's just what it is. But, you know, to know what it means and to, you know, to come up short like that, obviously, it's just devastating. Yeah.
I want to talk about the family aspect, because I've always said that I think people should be free to express themselves within the confines of sport, right? But I don't know if you were here, you know, Luke Fickell ordered a pizza many years ago. Delivery guy had something to say to him. John Cooper tells stories about how he would have for sale signs in his lawn. You have had situations, I'm sure, this entire process with your family. You have to have a security guard there. Is there any point where you say, this is not worth any of this? I don't want to do this to them, right? Or to myself, but specifically, my job as a protector, as a husband, as a father, is to make sure that their lives are not affected. Was there a point last year where you just said, I can't deal with this enough?
No. But, you know, you also, as a dad, as a husband, you're like, all right, I got to get this thing fixed fast, you know, because you know, they didn't do anything. You know, they have no control over it. And I think that's probably the hardest thing as a man, is just to see, you know, your wife and your kids who have literally no control over any of it have to deal with it, you know. And so you have one choice. You better, you know, pick up yourself off the ground and get it figured out fast. And that's what we did. But yeah, I think that's probably the biggest challenge, you know, for me, just in my family, is that, you know, they don't have any control over it, right? You know, and so they live it. And you know, there's an unbelievable video when Jeremiah caught that pass in a national championship game where, you know, they're all kind of huddling behind everybody on the bench, and when he caught it, it's just like tears, like just crying, you know. And my wife even, you know, says to me, I wish I could go back and relive all that, because it was like a blur. The whole month was a blur, you know. And so just a range of emotions, but that's it. And, you know, as a dad, you know, you and as a coach, it's an opportunity to show your family, show your children, show your wife, but also show the players and the staff members, like, this is how you respond to adversity. You know, there's a lot of people, they're going to say a lot of things. And, you know, people want to say extreme things. That's how they get attention. That's how they get credibility nowadays. And so, you know, it's a great learning lesson for a lot of people, that when things get really, really hard. You just got to hang in there. You just got to stick together with the people you care about the most.
Yeah. Well, as someone who was front and center in the lunatic fringe of people on the radio who were saying things like, I don't think Ryan Day can get the job done. I'm sure you may have heard some of that. Let me apologize for being wrong. And I appreciate
we've apologized to the pumpkin.
Well, apology received. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
But I will also say this. I do feel like a lot of times on the media side of things, we do get caught up in the job needs to be done X, Y, or Z. The person getting paid X, whatever, to do the job, we don't feel like it's getting it done. Our job is to say what happens. At the end of all that, there's a bunch of human beings saying things, doing things, and it doesn't always maybe come out the way that you want it to. What I do regret more than anything is when we say those things, that's our job, right? Is to say what we think. But then when you find out what people take that stuff as, who are not here, who might be on the internet, who then go, yes, and then add to it, and then it becomes this kind of intensity. I'll give you an example of what I saw as a child. I grew up here in Columbus. I was 5 years old, I think, when Earl Bruce got fired. One of my first memories of Ohio State football was my dad saying, I heard on the news that Earl Bruce got fired, and they were in the parking lot at the Shoe talking about it. And in my head, that meant that a bunch of Ohio State fans lit Earl Bruce on fire as a 5-year-old. That's what I thought, because that's what I understood Ohio State fandom to be. So as someone who's kind of grown up in that and seen that, seeing it now happen in 2024, 2025, that's disappointing. Do you feel like college football fandom will ever get maybe a little bit more grounded? A little bit more, okay, we see what's happening here. Do you think the playoffs help with that? Because for a lot of us, we're used to...
It's not the end of the world when you lose
one game, that's it, season's over. Like, I've had to adjust my expectations on that. Do you think the playoffs may play into that in the future as we go forward in college football?
Yeah, I mean, you covered a lot of ground there. I think the first thing is, I do think that I think the playoffs is a good thing overall. I think that fans will continue to be passionate. That's what makes college football great. I do think when you see teams overcome adversity and push through, I think that's a good thing for everybody to see. I understand that when you're a first-time head coach, especially at a place like Ohio State, you may not get the benefit of the doubt until you win one. I get all those things. I do think that, the folks who gamble on games certainly don't help the situation, because I think that adds a whole nother layer to the extremity of it all. But, at the end of the day, this is what we signed up for. And this is, a place where, like I said all the time, like Ohio State's not for everybody, man. Like, you got to understand that. And I talk to the recruits all the time that, you learn from it. When you look at Will Howard, he did his interview or his thing with Gruden the other day, and they talked about that. And you just see the way he came out of that and who he became coming out of it. Like, it's just, was it hard? Yeah, it was absolutely hard. But, like, look what came out of it. So, there's this kind of the yin and the yang of it all. But you're right. I mean, I hate to say it like this because it almost sounds, arrogant. But, yeah, like, there's a lot of, like, we're humans, and there's nobody who cares more than the people in that Woody. There's nobody that cares more than, like, my family, our family, the staff family. Like, we have our whole lives are riding on these games. And so I don't think it's ever going to change. It's been going on for a long time. Someone gave me a book that was written about 75 years ago about Ohio State football. It was the same back then it is now. So that's what we got. But the other part of that is, flying across the country and just seeing so many people come up to me and just saying, thank you. Thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for who you are as a man. Thank you for having the class to withstand all of those things. Thank you for your family staying strong. Thank you for giving us the experience of the college football playoffs. I so many people, hey, I flew across the country to be with my grandfather to watch that national championship game. I stuck with you after you lost that rivalry. We knew you could do it after you won that Tennessee game. Like, just to hear the stories across the country of all the Buckeye fans that it meant so much to, that brought generations of people together. That's what it's all about.
Here's the real question I want to know. Food has no calories. You have nowhere to be the next day, so you have easy access to a toilet. You're at home in your soft clothes. What are we eating?
At home or
whatever. You get it catered in if you want to, but
you can pig out on anything
you want.
The meal that there's no repercussions for what you're about to eat, what you're about to put in your body.
Well, that'll do a combo if it doesn't matter. So like ribeye steak.
How we cooking that steak, Coach?
Medium.
There we go.
Yeah, medium. And if you can go bone-in ribeye, like I love that, because obviously close to the bone is really, really good. But then like the other one is like a really good chicken parmesan with pasta. So like the combination of those two is like a home run for me. I love steakhouses. I love Italian restaurants.
You hitting drive-through windows? You doing that at all? Can you do like Dom Taberry introduces himself when he goes to the Wendy's window? Do you have to say, hey, Ryan Day here, give me a spicy chicken?
I the Northeast guy in me, the Boston guy in me, like I'll go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a large iced coffee and a sandwich there or something like that. I'd like going. That's my drive-through spot over there.
I'm gonna go to Vermont and New Hampshire in the summertime with the family. Other than hanging out with your PI brother who's digging up all the stuff about Jim Harbaugh. What are things that I have to do when I'm there?
So you're not going to Boston? You're just going to go to New Hampshire?
We're not. We're flying into Boston, then we're driving.
Yeah. So the coast in the summer is great. You kind of it's not a long coastline, but it's a great coastline there, and then it goes into Maine.
Was that Portsmouth over there?
Yeah, Portsmouth, exactly. Yeah. Yep. And then the mountains of New Hampshire are great. There's really good lakes up there. So I think probably the lakes and the mountains up in the north of the state, the coast there. Vermont, you're on your own. I don't know much about Vermont.
It's right next to you.
That's all right. Well, I don't go over there very often.
He ran into Paul Keels. Was that in Vermont?
Oh, my God. Let me tell you. So this is years ago. I'm with my wife in Vermont, Woodstock, Vermont. Ooh. Okay? Tiny little place. And I'm crossing the street, and I said to my wife, I swear to God, that's Paul Keels across the street. What are the odds? And so I go up to him, and he looks like he saw a ghost because you're not expecting me to walk up. He was vacationing there with a lady friend of his that, as he likes to say, is no longer on scholarship.
Okay, Paul. See you, man.
But we met each other in Vermont.
That's pretty rare.
Yeah. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Absolutely, man.
Will you come back and do it again?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't believe you.
I'll have to have some of these Coors Lights.
Oh, absolutely. We'll crack it open. Ryan Day, you know who he is. We're back with Inside the NFL coming up next. Colin Mann and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
Westbound I-70 accident blocking off the left lane between Wilson Road and 270. Watch out for debris in the roadway as well. And westbound North Outer Belt at 71, an accident there on the left berm. This report is sponsored by Ohio 811. Call before you dig. Contact Ohio 811 at least 48 hours before you dig. It's easy to do, and it's the law. CenterPoint Energy, Columbia Gas, Duke Energy, and Enbridge Gas want you to dig safely. Contact Ohio 811 every time you dig. I'm Eddie Zellick, 497.1 The Fan Traffic.
Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Spring Tour 25. Friday, May 23rd, Mershon Auditorium. With special guest, the Vindies. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-VEIN. That's 614-324-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Skyline nachos are back, and now there's a spicy version. Get them with Skyline's cheddar or habanero cheese, topped with fiery jalapeno slices. But hurry, Skyline's regular and new spicy nachos are only at participating restaurants for a limited time.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, people are officially going crazy over our sleek, black-framed windows. They change the entire look of a home.
Leslie, nobody believes that just black frames can change the look of a home.
It's like when Superman put on his black-framed glasses and became Clark Kent.
Wait a second. Clark Kent is Superman? Are you messing with me right now?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Yeah, boss asked us to get the Ohio Lottery kiosks ready for the new $20 scratch-off, $2 million extreme cash. With $38 million in total prizes, we had to go big. We had cup holders, monster truck tires, even installed air horns in case somebody reveals the extreme symbol and wins every prize on the scratch-off. Boss thinks the light show's a bit much, but gotta celebrate $2 million top prize winners somehow. So yeah, play $2 million extreme cash from the Ohio Lottery. And if you can tell my boss I did a good job, that'd be cool too. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
After an audit of our programming, the suits here at the Fan decided we needed more baseball. And that common man is stupid. Good news, we fixed one of those problems. Catch the Reds on the Fan all season long. Yay, baseball.
Do you realize making the minimum monthly payments on your credit cards, it'll take nearly 20 years to pay them off? What if I told you there's a way for you to get them all paid off in just a matter of weeks? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Imagine wiping out all of your credit cards. Here's where you go. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Advantage First Lending is the easy button for tapping in to hundreds of thousands of dollars in your home equity. That's not the bank money, it's your money. Listen, your home, the value is way up. And now AFLcash.com has a super fast, hassle-free program that lets you turn that equity into cash. People who do this are living their best life, their credit card debt free, with cash left over for other stuff like home improvements, maybe a vacation. See how much money you can get now. Go to AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Say goodbye to greedy credit card companies. That's AFLcash.com.
Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
Murdering brain cells, one show at a time. Back to Man and Bone.
Happy Tuesday. We just talked to Ryan Day for about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
If you missed it, well, good news. It's going to be on the podcast later. Not now, but later after the show's over. Go to wherever you get your audio. Search Cowan, Man, and T-Bone. Click. Subscribe. Every single show comes right to your device free of charge. Podcast is brought to you by our friends, Care Heating and Cooling.
I almost feel like we should have a debrief after that, where we just got some good insight. We got some good human moments from Ryan Day. Obviously, he is a human, but he's also the coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. It's like an office. It's like being the president or the governor. It's just you lose sight of the human sometimes, but I think that's part of what that interview was, at least for me.
That's the stuff that I like to do. And behind the scenes, I don't like to talk to people,
Right.
because you get somebody on the phone for 7 minutes. You can't really dive into topics, and I feel like sometimes the guest knows there's an end time. I just have to tread water for 6-7 minutes, and then I'll be out of there. When you can get somebody in the studio and you have eye contact with them and you have them for a couple segments, you can really dive into some meaty stuff. And I could have talked to him for another 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
I really could. I mean, I didn't even scratch the surface on stuff that I wanted to talk about, but those are the type of conversations that I live for, and I hope that we open that door and we get to have more of that relationship.
Yeah, I told Ryan Day that he earned a 10-year reprieve from criticism for me. Now that's for winning the national championship. I'll say that, but I don't know, maybe
until the Texas game. And then we see something we don't like in the second quarter.
If I say I didn't like that, is that criticism? I'm saying I'm not going to be Ryan Day should be fired. That's not going to happen.
We talked about that. I mean, that's part of the job.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we're doing our job. He's doing his job. Where I did want to make the point is there should never be a scenario where you go up to, Ryan Day at the grocery store when he's buying bananas.
No.
And start yelling in his face.
And this should go without saying, but apparently it doesn't, or anyone related to him or any of these other coaches over there. The line is, you want to text us, tweet at us, and say, I think this should be done. This guy, that guy, this coach, this player. If you have a concern on the field,
yourself.
express
Absolutely.
it. That's fine. It's very different to do that than to go up to a person in what I would like to call real life and act like a moron. So
right.
Let's please refrain from doing that going forward. And I hope I thought that was understood before, but it should be
Hopefully that is the first visit of many. We appreciate his time. Inside the NFL.
Common Man and T-Bone's Inside the NFL.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, Mike, I usually don't start off with Jets head coaches talking because that's not usually fertile ground for
I had to think for
conversation.
It's Aaron Glenn.
It is Aaron Glenn, and I had to think about it too. But, he's the new guy there. And he had a quote, though, that I think is very good because he was, not that this is very surprising, he says he's not really focused on Super Bowl or playoffs. He said, quote, "To me, it's a process, and I've talked to our staff about this. I'm not here to talk about the playoffs. I'm not here to talk about the Super Bowl when the players first get in. To me, it's the process of actually making it that point. It's two things I want to make sure we do first and foremost is establish the culture we've been talking about and then try to create a building environment." So that actually seems reasonable and not insane. Like, some of these coaches get up there and like, I gotta tell you, when we get going, Super Bowls, that's what we're looking. And it's like, yeah, man, but walk before you can run. You got to have a functional organization. You got to rebuild that thing top to bottom. I know they think they've got some talent there, whatever. I believe if the Jets were to start out with just the idea that let's build some culture and let's show guys how to win, then yeah, you win enough games, guess what? You make the playoffs.
Right. Also,
then you learn how to win there.
Maybe you don't let a 16-year-old in the war room.
Yeah, that would be part of. I don't know this, but I would think that falls into building a culture. Part of that is figuring out how to have your football operation separate from your owner's goofball sons and whatever other stupid ideas he has. So good for Aaron Glenn for saying that. I think it's spot on. There is a report out there from The Athletic saying that Travis Hunter may be well on his way to Cleveland. Many NFL executives now believe that Travis Hunter, who starred on both sides of the football for Colorado, is the favorite to go to the Browns. Now, of course, who knows? This is all the smoke and mirrors season of the NFL draft, but Browns have identified Hunter as a top target early in the pre-draft process, according to Jeff Howe, General Manager Andrew Berry, him too, recently on hand to scout the Buffalo Star at his pro day. So, could they go quarterback? Sure. But this is the latest report in a season where you can't believe anything.
I know.
This is what's out there.
I have nothing against if you draft Travis Hunter. I just want to know, if I'm a Brown fan, what's the plan?
Yeah.
Because the plan is not Achilles' boy, right? We know that's not the plan.
Right.
Jimmy Haslam essentially said that wasn't the plan. I just want to know where you go from here. I've seen some fans say, well, you tank for Arch Manning. Tank for Arch Manning? What the hell are we talking about? Do we even know if Arch Manning's any good?
No. Well, that's the thing, right?
We'll find out, I guess, but we don't know.
Yeah. If the argument was we don't need to get a quarterback right yet because we've got so much more to fix on this team, let's trade out of the pick and amass more picks for the next couple years as we move away from Deshaun Watson's contract. Then we can bring in more free agents, get younger players. We have more roster space, more cap space. We can work this out better. That's actually a logical plan. Even if that means you don't draft a quarterback this year, that tells me you have a plan to eventually address that issue. But yes, I don't know that just drafting Travis Hunter, as much as I like him as a player, I think he'll be a very successful NFL player. I don't know that fixes your biggest needs.
Also, Travis Hunter says he wants to play every single snap, both offense and defense. He just needs to be given a chance. Sorry, buddy, I'm not giving you that chance.
I know.
No way.
You know what sucks? I want to see it.
Oh, okay.
Right?
It's not the smart thing to do.
No, but it's like growing up as kids. It's not the same thing. But like, we will probably never see a Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, some of the other guys that have tried to do that where they've played in multiple sports. We're probably never going to see that again. And why? Because ultimately, we'd rather have the best version of one of those things than someone who can do multiple. And it's a cool story for everybody else, unless you're a fan of one of those two teams and you're saying, yeah, my guy's not here because he's playing the other sport. Same thing with this. I'd love to see him play every snap of every NFL game for his entire career. The likelihood he gets injured doing that is far greater if he plays more plays than if he played half of those plays. So, yeah, it's just a numbers game.
You know what I just remembered?
What's that?
We didn't get a chance to play ping pong with Ryan Day.
Oh.
I wanted to school his ass at ping pong.
That's okay. Timmy did.
Oh, Timmy played.
Timmy played with him?
Yes.
What happened?
I don't know. We'll have to talk to him about it.
We have to interview Tim.
Tell Tim he's got to come in the next segment.
Okay.
Give us a full recap.
Yeah, who
Timmy
needed
stole
inside
my
the NFL
ping pong.
Well, he sure did.
What a piece of crap.
Swooped in and said, I guess this ping pong table's just going to be alone.
That's what he does.
Play me.
He's a scavenger. If he sees an opportunity, he just swoops in.
He's like one of those birds that goes into the butthole of the deer.
Huh?
The dead deer?
Oh.
That's how those scavenger birds get inside. They got to go for the soft parts. They do the eyeball or the butthole.
They go for the opening. Right.
Right.
They go
now
to
they
the
get
mouth.
inside.
Yeah, right.
I almost hit a deer this morning.
Oh, by one of my biggest fears. Just I don't know what happens, but it's just
what happens. You hurt your car.
I know, but I'm saying I'm not like, it's the worst thing that ever happened to you. It's just an annoyance I don't want.
All right, I want a ping pong recap. Plus, we have not talked about the big college basketball game last night. We'll do so coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
On westbound I-70 between Wilson Road and 270, an accident now blocking off the right lane. It's got traffic stop and go from Broad Street up to a 35-minute delay. Westbound North Outer Belt at 71, accident there on the left berm, delays from 161. This report is sponsored by Take 5 Oil Change. At Take 5 Oil Change, they get it. Time is precious. That's why they make getting your oil changed fast, friendly, and simple. You'll be back on the road in just 10 minutes. Book ahead or drive in. It's fast either way. Take 5 Oil Change, the stay in your car, 10-minute oil change. I'm Eddie Zalek, 497.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Whiskey War, by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
There's a new way to surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and Market District. Shop Giant Eagle's uncompromising quality at a reliable price with everyday savings. Look for signs throughout the store to find bargains on produce, meat, and more. At Giant Eagle, we combine exceptional customer service and quality foods, all at great value to make the most of your shopping trip. Visit Giant Eagle or Market District today to see how easy it is to save.
Hey friends, Beamer here, 70 pounds down. Let that sink in. I'm officially 70 pounds down, all thanks to Awaken 180, and have transitioned smoothly into maintenance mode. This isn't just weight loss, this is life-changing stuff. I've dropped over 13% body fat, my visceral fat points are down by 8, and honestly, I feel like a completely new man. The coolest part, Awaken 180 just doesn't say congrats and then wave goodbye. They prepare you for maintenance, so now I get to reintroduce to myself foods that I love. Pizza, ice cream, very excited about all of that. My mindset's completely different though now. Do I crave junk food? Honestly, no. Can I eat those things now? Sure. Will I? Absolutely. But the difference is I no longer feel like I need them all the time. And Awaken 180's free support for life means that this weight's staying off. My body's now working for me instead of against me. I'm finally at my healthy baseline weight. I feel awesome. Change your mindset, change your life. Awaken 180 made it happen for me. And if it can happen for me, it can 100% happen for you. Check them out online at awaken180weightloss.com. awaken180weightloss.com.
We've all got our daydreams, right? Little things, big things, things you know one day you'll do. Then out of nowhere, cancer. And all your plans don't change a bit. I would know. I'm about to jump out of an airplane with my dad. Our first time skydiving solo. And my second year since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health. All right, Dad, let's go. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep-making-plans.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman here for Germain Honda of Dublin. So what's the difference? There are other Honda dealers around. Well, Rich Newsom and his team want to earn your trust. They don't expect it, and they earn it by giving you a great price, and then they back it up after the sale. With same-day service, no appointment necessary, a great variety of brand new Hondas, and hundreds of pre-owned certified Hondas to choose from, all at the same location. Identify yours at GermainHondaofDublin.com. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Here's 3 reasons to buy your Blue Jackets ticket plans for the 25-26 season. 1, pick your seat and pick your games. 2, plans start at just 11 games. 3, priority access to Stanley Cup playoff tickets. Act now. Visit BlueJackets.com/tickets.
Sometimes you don't realize something was bothering you
Until it's gone.
That's how you're going to feel
After we work our magic at your house.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
The Bobcat National Sales Event is happening now at Bobcat Enterprises. Get up to $10,000 in rebates or choose financing as low as 0% for 60 months on the industry's most comfortable compact loaders. See Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, or Zanesville today for incredible savings during the National Sales Event and find the current specials and full line of products at bobcatent.com. Some restrictions apply. Length of contract and rate may vary. Offer ends June 30th, 2025. Bobcat Enterprises, celebrating 50 years of serving you.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Picture this. You walk into a Tim Hortons and get a warm toasted English muffin or a buttery biscuit layered with fluffy fresh cracked eggs, melty cheese, and savory sausage or bacon. Now imagine that breakfast sandwich for just $3 when you buy any size coffee, hot or cold, because when you're running on empty, you want a breakfast that does more than just fills you up. So start your morning with Tim's, because you deserve a breakfast that's as good as your day is going to be. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Offer valid only during breakfast hours. Exclusions apply. Additional terms apply.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. Ohio State basketball's added another in the transfer portal today, getting 6'8", 240-pound forward Brandon Knoll from Wright State, where last season the Lucasville native averaged a career-high 19 points and 7 rebounds. Cleveland Cavaliers at home tonight with the Chicago Bulls. They'll be minus Donovan Mitchell due to an ankle sprain. Blue Jackets at home with Ottawa trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. 7:30 face-off here on the Fan. Cleveland Guardians getting set to begin their home portion of the schedule as they host the Chicago White Sox. Guardians have dropped 2 in a row. Sox have lost 5 straight. Cincinnati Reds will be in San Francisco trying for a second straight win over the Giants. Columbus Clippers on the road beginning a series at Worcester. This update brought to you by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit them online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
And from every dime a dog night in the Midwest,
Because he's fat.
here's Man and Bone.
All right, I did see some video footage of the big ping pong matchup between Timmy Hall and Ryan Day. And it looks like Timmy came out on top.
Yeah.
But I could tell by the footage, because I am a professional ping pong scout.
I know you are.
That Ryan Day's got some game. And I'm anxious to get in there and give him a ride.
What?
Give him a test ride on the ping pong.
You want to play him in ping pong?
Yes, that's exactly what I want to do.
Best thing to do is just say that. Just say, I want to play.
Best thing to do is just let him finish.
Well, Timmy's out there now still playing ping pong with, I believe, the dean of OSU media, Jerry Emick, is out there right now playing Timmy Hall. I think loser never gets to cover an OSU press conference ever again. So Jerry Emick has a lot on the line here because he's like, man, I could get Timmy banned from every press conference ever in the future.
Jerry doesn't cover press conferences.
Well, that's what I mean is there's no stakes for him because he works there.
He'll be there. The press conferences.
I know, he'll be there. So the only person who can lose is Tim. So I feel like Jerry's playing really hard here trying to get him out of there.
If Timmy's in the building, we all lose.
That's right.
Everybody loses.
Yeah.
Are they done playing now? They're still playing, Tim.
No, they're still playing.
Man, that's like a war out there. My God. All right, rapid fire coming up at 4:30. Game show in the 5 o'clock hour. What's the game this week, Bonner?
We're doing sibling trivia.
Dramatic title game last night. Florida beating Houston. All right, there you go. Another championship for Florida.
That's your takeaway?
No, here's my takeaway. I mean, obviously, it was a very good game. I enjoyed it immensely. I had no rooting interest, and I didn't really care who won or lost. I wanted a good game. We got it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A little surprised at the end of the game that Houston couldn't get anything off, right? But whatever. Florida was the better team. They came back from a 12-point deficit. They earned it. I look at Florida, and I've said this before, and I get you people poo-pooing me.
Okay.
There is no reason why their basketball program can't be our basketball program.
Oh,
no
100%
reason
agreed.
Why. And there's also no reason why. We saw it with Michigan this year with Dusty May, is they were crap last year. Crap. Mm-hmm. They won 8 conference games last year.
No. 8
games. I'm sorry.
8
I gave them too much credit.
They would have jumped for joy at 8 conference games last year. 8 games.
8 total games. They make a complete turnaround, and they're a player this year. Florida, last year, out in the first round. The years before that, 2 years before that, out of the tournament completely.
Right.
And here they are winning the national championship. And they've won how many titles since 2005?
At least, they've won at least 3.
Florida's won 3.
Yeah.
3.
They won the 2, one of which was against Ohio State.
Yeah. And then this one.
Right.
The Al Horford, Joakim Noah years, right? Wasn't that those teams?
So
when they won back-to-back?
When you shrug your shoulders and you say, well, at the end of the day, what are you going to do? Ohio State basketball, There's no reason why the Buckeyes can't model things after Florida.
No. Now, I will play. I just want you to know, I am 100% with you.
Well, then why are you going to argue with me? Because I can already feel it coming. It's like I'm sitting here with my wife.
No, because there will be people that are yelling at their car radios right now or their phones or whatever they're listening to us on, and they're going, yeah, well, would you want to be Florida football if it meant that? Because then look at how Florida football has been of late. My argument is Florida football is bad because they've made some poor decisions with hiring. It's not as if Florida is going, do you genuinely think at Florida?
You don't think they're getting any NIL money for the football team?
No, what I'm saying is, do you think they're looking at the football team and going, they're saying we need like a quarterback and some wide receivers, and we're in the state of Florida where it's very competitive for players. We're in the South where it's even more competitive. We're in the SEC. Let's take money from the football team and give it to the basketball team.
No way.
They're not doing that.
No way.
They're doing it poorly. They're misfiring on who they're getting for football, but they are trying just as hard in football as any other school is in the SEC or elsewhere, including here at Ohio State. They're just worse at it in football than they are at basketball. Ohio State, that is the difference to me when it comes to Ohio State getting to the level of a Florida, of an Alabama, those SEC schools that can seem to balance a football and a basketball program and be very good at both. I think what you need to do is put more investment into basketball while not at all sacrificing anything for football. You have the people who can fund all of this. Just make it happen.
All right, look, Timmy's here. Timmy, before we talk about the ping pong.
Looky here.
There's nobody on this staff that knows more about college basketball than you, except for maybe 4 other people.
I agree.
Do you disagree with me that there's no reason why Ohio State can't be Florida when it comes to basketball?
It's unacceptable to think of anything less.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
There we go.
Everything that you just said, Bone, it's just unacceptable when we live in a town like this, in a state like this, with a university like that. Number 1 in valuation, $1.3 billion. Number 1 in revenue. Number 1 in expenditures for athletic departments. Texas just brought in Sean Miller, and look at what they're starting to do right away.
Yeah.
They just got Dalen Swain right away, who is a guy that the Buckeyes are looking at. And I'm intrigued by, look, what I asked for as far as portal. I don't know if you guys were just talking about this, but the incoming guys in the portal, I understand that they might not be like elite top 10 type of portal transfers, but at least you went into the mid-major ranks and got guys with proven track records
and who can score.
Experience, size. The big guy is a 240 body with a 7-foot body.
I watched that dude. That dude can move. Like if we're not pick and rolling teams, then I don't know what we're doing with that guy.
Christoph Tilly.
Yeah, Tilly.
And then you get
German.
Then you get a Wright State dude who's a 17-8 guy, 55% from the field, 6'8", 220 pounds.
There we go.
Okay,
that's some size. Yeah.
Again, like that's the difference from getting highly touted recruits that only played 7 to 10 minutes a game and didn't really scratch the surface on their college basketball careers.
Yeah, I'm optimistic if we keep building like that for this season, but I got to see more of it. And quite honestly, I got to see it happen on the court before I'm going to fully buy in.
Me too.
I'm rooting for it. I'm rooting for it.
Top 25 in the way too early poll. That's all well and good.
Yeah.
Let's get there and let's execute next year.
I just don't want to hear from people who watch only Ohio State football and that's it, which we love Ohio State football, who say, oh, you can't be good at basketball too if you want to be good at football.
I hate it.
You're lying
I hate
to yourself.
It's ridiculous.
There's literally examples all over college sports that show you that you're wrong. So
and you have examples of quick turnarounds.
Yes.
All over college basketball.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, Timmy. Ryan Day came in here to talk to us. Somehow you poach him and play ping pong with him out there. I don't know why I wasn't invited to go out there and play.
Because you were on the air.
Who cares? This show is secondary to ping pong.
I did feel bad about that.
You should feel bad.
I
No,
do.
you shouldn't, Timmy.
I do feel bad about that.
You swooped in. We got them all lubed up for you, and you just took care of it at the end.
Great job with the interview. I want to start.
I don't need your review. I don't need your
I want to start with that because I was back here listening like any other listener and wondering where you're going to go, directions. I thought it was a home run. I was compelled and locked in for all of it. He was about to leave, and there was about 15 people of our cronies out there, and you could tell. You can understand, put yourself in his shoes. I want to get the heck out of here, right? I can understand that.
I want to get the hell out of here right now.
And Adam King bumps up in there and says, like, hey, you play any ping pong, Ryan? And he just instantly, his eye lit up and said, oh, yeah, I can play.
Oh. And then you were like, well.
And then I just said, well,
I'll be your Huckleberry.
I said, well, sure. What do you say we go to 5? I don't know why Sean Connery walked in.
Yeah, I was trying to do a little Val Kilmer tribute, and then you just walked all over.
Yeah, no, good. Rest in peace.
Right, I want to take a break, and then I want to come back. I want a full description.
Take care of this family.
I want a I want a full description of the ping pong matchup between Timmy Hall. That's what I'd do. And Ryan Day. Stop this. No one cares, Timmy.
They do.
Colin Mann and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
Westbound I-70 still got that accident blocking off the right lane between Wilson Road and 270. Emergency crews are on scene. And traffic stop and go westbound 670 between Grandview and I-70. That's a 10-minute delay. This report is sponsored by AAA Car Care Plus. Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus and save $84 on select sets of 4 Nokian tires. Only at AAA Care Car Plus locations. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer ends April 15th. See store for details. I'm Eddie Zalek, 497.1 The Fan Traffic.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Can I get Mega Millions?
Good choice. Mega Millions is bigger than ever. Jackpots now start at $50 million and grow faster.
Sounds mega.
And now, every game has a built-in multiplier, so all non-jackpot prizes are multiplied between 2 and 10 times.
Bigger prizes, better odds, and just $5? Give me 2.
Mega Millions is bigger and better than ever. Get your tickets today at your local Ohio lottery retailer. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Bats are us when dreams sunk in. Bats are us. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to BathsAreUs.com. 380-225-BATH. Bats are us when dreams sunk in. Bats are us.
Skyline nachos are back, and now there's a spicy version. Get them with Skyline's cheddar or habanero cheese, topped with fiery jalapeno slices. But hurry, Skyline's regular and new spicy nachos are only at participating restaurants for a limited time.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple years, and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully, with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab, just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
If your garage door is so ugly that the FedEx guy is just literally baseball chucking your packages at it, so you get the point, we are Deluxe Door Systems. For 30 years, transforming the look of people's homes for less than you think. DeluxeDoorSystems.com.
The Blue Jackets are making a push for the playoffs, and they can't wait to fire the cannon right in your face. Wait, that was a touch violent. I'll try again. It would be helpful to chart their progress right here on The Fan. Thank you kindly.
Did you know 38% of Ohio's teenagers have spent money on gambling in video and online games? Items like mystery boxes, skins, and spin to win mimic gambling, putting children at a higher risk of experiencing a gambling disorder as an adult. So get in the know about youth gambling and start the conversation with discussion guides, parent resources, and more at ChangeTheGameOhio.org. That's ChangeTheGameOhio.org.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine, a bit breezy, dry temperatures near 40 degrees on this Tuesday. Overnight will fall back down to the upper 20s. Widespread frost Wednesday morning, but plenty of sunshine to start, giving way to some late day clouds and a shower by evening. Highs near 50 degrees. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
You wanted the best. Instead, you got these two. This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Where the hell do we work sometimes? You know? My God. Children that I'm wrangling around.
I just see we're 10 seconds from coming back. I see Mike looking over at an empty chair in the other studio. He goes, "Where's Timmy?" And he walks across the hall. And he's like, "He's in there with them."
He's on the podcast with Evil Bald Colin.
I knew what I was doing. I was popping in to my own college basketball podcast.
That's right.
Reimer and Evil have been handling most of it.
Oh,
It's our final episode of the season.
Timmy, can I tell you something? You're not needed on that show anymore.
Reimer,
they've got that show.
They've got it.
You got a couple Wally Pips over there. Not Wally Pips. They're Lou Gehrig.
Whichever
You're
the
Wally
bad
Pipp.
one is.
Just concentrate on cutting and pasting the staff schedule. You're doing a good job with that. Right, but
I don't know about that.
They don't. No, he's not. They don't need you anymore over there. Okay,
Be your future. Make your future.
We
That's
need
where it
you
is.
in here. So Ryan Day was on with us in the 3:00 hour. When he was finished, he played ping pong with Timmy, which I went on the date and you took him home. I don't know why or how it happened, but I need a full description of what the ping pong matchup went like.
All right. So, as I said before, everybody's standing there. They're about ready to go, and Adam King motions to the ping pong table and says, "Oh, Coach Day, play any ping pong?" And his eyes lit up and said, "Oh, yeah." And so I just grabbed the paddle and I said, "Quick game to 5." And he grabbed the paddle and he went to my side of the table. So my eyes widened a little bit. So I said, "Oh boy, I'm going to be tricked right off the start." And before we did anything, he took a shot.
What do you mean he took a shot?
He served it right up.
No volley?
I hadn't even picked up the paddle yet, and he just took a shot. I respected it. And I tried to grab the paddle. Sometimes I go right hand, left hand to get more length on the side of the table. I dropped the paddle trying to pick it up to be ready for his first serve, which, like a gentleman, he did not count. And so then I just gave him first serve. We didn't volley, and then the game commenced.
Can I tell you how this went? I mean, we know you. We're used to you. You're our buddy. But sometimes you never shut up. Like, there's a lot of time where I'm just standing at that table just waiting for you to finish whatever dumb rant you're on. All I want to do is play ping pong.
Wow.
You're probably doing that to him out there, and he just served it to you.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. I wasn't chatty.
I don't buy it for a second.
I'm not going into an unknown situation. Chatty?
Timmy, I believe you.
Do you remember?
I believe you.
Do you remember? Whoa. Go back to the second segment that you guys did with him. Bone is going on and on and on about something.
That was a long
said
question.
in his response, boy, he covered a lot of ground.
But that was the
he
one.
went on
I'm
and
sorry.
gave his answer.
I had to apologize to the man for saying, I hope you get fired because you lost to Michigan.
That was nice, too, but I didn't have diarrhea of the mouth like you did with that question.
Your apology is like, hey, your PI brother is not a piece of crap. Anyway, I hope he counts. Is that good? It's just like, that's your apology. Mine was like, hey, I just want you to know, man to man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about all that happened.
Right, anyway.
No, it was really genuine.
All right,
it was really genuine.
Talk about the game. Come on.
So we got going.
That was a big
took the
swallow
first
right there, too. Let's go. Come on.
Don't get on to Timmy's swallows.
You want to know what happened in the game? Let me tell you what happened in the game.
Come on.
So I started off with a 4-1 lead in the first 5. So I broke his serve 4-1, and he was trying to take some shots early.
Was he serving? He was serving all of them?
No, he started with the serve, right?
Okay.
I gave him the serve, and I broke him 4-1 in the first 5-point cluster there. He was trying to hit some hard overhands.
Okay.
And I was going to I would say my base swing is my backhand, right? Yeah. I play with an inward stance, and I have the backhand swing. So I'm going with that, my normal stance, and I'm getting the job done. And then he starts to chip away at the lead. So I think I had him to 6-1, and then he took a few straight points. And this is all on video, too.
I thought you were playing 5. How did we get to 6-1?
We went to 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course, I said we're going to go to 5. And then as soon as we got into it, he's like, we're going to 11. I, of course, obliged and said, whatever you want. We'll go however long that you want. So he starts to chip away, and he changed his process up. In the middle of the game, he started to play more steady. Like when you and I are trying to go for some consistent battles.
He wasn't going for the kill shot.
We're trying to return the ball. We're trying to wait for our partner to make a mistake.
This guy he's going to volley with me, and so I got to try and volley with him.
And then, let this guy make the mistake, and I'll score some points. So, long story short, became a good competitive game. This process worked for him. I was a gentleman. And another thing that I forgot, the etiquette that you and I don't go by because we played together for so long, when you score a point by way of the net kills the momentum and the player cannot get up to hit the ball back. You put a hand, you'll see this in professional ping pong. In the Olympics, a hand will go up. For the person that scores the point, you still get the point, but you say,
I'm sorry.
You give a little, my bad.
I'm not sorry enough to take the point back.
Yeah, I keep the point, but sorry, that's the etiquette. It's like golf etiquette, I don't know.
I'm not doing that with you.
No, we don't do that with each other. So he was quick to do this. So the sportsmanship was there, and I gave him a couple gentleman points for being the visitor, and I did this once, maybe twice, but we were in the game, and then we got to a 10-10 deuce score. And then I took the ad. He got a big point win. I took the ad back, and then I beat him with a backhand. Maybe he hit the shot long, and it didn't hit the table, and I won the game by 2 points.
Did you then run over and plant a flag right on his side of the table?
Only this time, there was no look of despair.
No,
he took the paddle and beat me with it.
As he should.
There was a look of relief that the game was over so he could get the hell out of here and finally get on with his day.
And he said, I wished I was playing against the common man right now.
That's right. Yeah.
He did not say that.
I hear that game's going to happen. Maybe.
I've been told that I have to play an away matchup.
Oh, baby.
I have to go over to the Woody and play on their table.
I am all for that.
Let's go. Let's get that.
That sounds fun.
Let's have that filmed. It's good.
Film at 11.
I want a full description.
How's Adam King's ankles out there? Good? Showy?
What do you mean?
Showing off.
Yeah, my God. He does have the high waters when he sits down.
That's for a certain man of a certain age. The ankles is the male version of cleavage.
Does he not pull it off, though? I feel like he does.
He pulls it off. Yeah, of course
he's a handsome man.
He's a sharp dresser.
And
he's handsome.
He knows it, too.
But that's what makes him a douche.
Exactly.
No, but a little bit, what's wrong with that? Like a little bit. But
it's not a little bit with him. It's a lot.
I know he's on TV, so he knows he looks good because he has to be on TV. He's supposed to look.
There's
good.
lots of ugly people on TV. Dom's ugly.
No,
You know what,
are
buddy?
you kidding me? Dom's a
You know what,
good-looking
though?
man.
At least,
Stop that.
At least King makes you laugh.
He does.
Unintentionally.
However that may be. He still makes you laugh.
We had to keep him away from Ryan Day because he's a journalist. You know,
I told him.
We said, listen,
you don't bother my guest.
He's coming in here to do happy fun time and have a little laugh, and let's have a real in-depth conversation. We don't need you news hounds jumping on him and like, right, the quarterback, blah. Like
He's a guest in
we
your
can't
court.
have you just screaming questions at him all the time from every corner that he walks around. So we just said, today only, let us just have a conversation with him. And then if you can use any of the stuff we said, use it on the news. We give you permission.
What did he give you for the food answers again? Was he a ribeye and chicken parmesan?
Chicken parm. We didn't get far enough. I wanted to dive into like a dessert.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not a sweets guy. I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't seem like he does a lot of drive-through, though he did say he'll hit a Dunkin' being a New England guy. That's,
Do you think
he said he's good with that.
Do you think Ryan has a chef?
No.
That kind of salary?
Not at home.
Don't think so?
No, they have a chef, obviously, at the Woody.
Oh, of course. I'm talking about, because I asked Jake Diebler this when we had him on after he got his raise and his job.
What did he say?
He said no, but Diebler is a self-proclaimed foodie. Like he would go to a restaurant with all of us and just eat anything that they're serving up and try it all and give a full detailed description of it.
All right. I mean,
no live-in chef for the Dieblers.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't want to go out with T-Bone because he's going to throw food right in Diebler's face.
Going to throw food in his face. Might ask him how, what the plan is, but beyond
You're going to apologize to him, too?
No. You know what? No.
He's got to
apologize to him when he wins a national championship or makes the Final Four. You know what?
Man,
Final Four. Final Four, Teddy.
Comes in with the dart.
Final Four, Teddy.
He's going to throw food in his face.
That's right. You know it. That's why when you said we're going to dinner, I'm like, I'm not going. I'm not getting invited to that. He's not going to want me there.
Oh, come on. We'll get you invited.
No, he's not going to want me there.
Yes, he does.
Why do you assume these guys are so thin-skinned?
I don't think he likes you.
He likes you. He likes the show.
I don't like me, Timmy. How's he going to like me? Come on.
Look at yourself.
Yeah, look at me. That's exactly why, Timmy. That's exactly why I don't like myself.
You know what Jerry Emick said at
What'd he
their
say?
SID? Jerry Emick sitting back here. He said, "Oh my God, I look just like T-Bone."
Oh God, Jerry, no, you don't. No,
First
you
of all,
don't.
Jerry's what, 60 years old?
You better thank your lucky stars that you don't weigh as much as I do, Jerry. That's
He's like,
good
we're
for
both
you.
wearing the black shirt, bald heads, gray beard.
Yeah, except you're right. He's got about 20 years on me.
I'll have to alert the clan elders that we're going to be late tonight.
All right. There you go.
Dad, shut up.
I love how
Ted's going
Ted
like,
has just become the voice in the background.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to be known for. Oh, man. Oh,
someone out there's really enjoying Ted just moaning in the background. They're like, yeah, do that more, Ted. That's good for me. Keep doing it.
What are we doing next, Ted?
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Oh, he's whispering
in
now.
2 minutes. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
Accident now cleared out westbound North Outer Belt at 71. That was on the left berm. And eastbound I-70 traffic running slow between James Road and 270 up to a 5-minute delay. This report is sponsored by Bank of America. What if your business could see beyond what is and into what can be? Whether you're a local shop or global enterprise, Bank of America gives you access to a range of business solutions to help make every move matter. What would you like the power to do? Find out how at bankofamerica.com/banking for business. I'm Eddie Zellick, 497.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com.
Anthony Rothman here for Tel Ohio. Tel Ohio Credit Union has been financing dreams and fueling the local economy for 90 years. And as the #1 SBA lender among Ohio credit unions, learn why more than 3,000 business owners trust Tel Ohio. Visit telohio.org/business.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
There's a new way to surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and Market District. Shop Giant Eagle's uncompromising quality at a reliable price with everyday savings. Look for signs throughout the store to find bargains on produce, meat, and more. Visit Giant Eagle to see how easy it is to save.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Listen to this show or go to hell. This is Man and Bone.
Happy Tuesday. This dumb show brought to you by the Hinderer Motor Company. Rapid Fire coming up in mere moments. Game show in the 5 o'clock hour. What's the game, Boner?
We're doing Sibling Trivia. All about Ryan Day's private investigator brother.
I got a little.
You got a little.
I got a little wry smile.
Little smile out of him on that. That was good. I like it.
I like to make him squirm just a little bit. I don't know if I was going to go with that or an ill-timed Austin Ward joke. Didn't know where I wanted to go.
Yeah, I didn't think
Went
we
with
would
the
lead
private
off with
investigator brother.
Is it okay if I have an NIL deal with one of your players? Now, Austin,
I know Austin.
All right, Austin's a good dude. We have nothing against him or Berm and all that. I hope it all gets cleared up and it's all good.
It's all
I'm
good.
sure it will be.
It's
It'll
all
all be
fine.
cleared up and good.
I like both of them.
Yeah.
Equally. I love them. Rapid Fire.
Rapid Fire.
Oh. All right, Teddy, Rapid Fire number 1.
The NFL is considering seeding playoff teams according to who has the best record. Would you be in favor of them making this change?
I know this isn't very sports radio of me, but I'm sort of torn on this. Sort of sit on the fence. You know, on one hand, I think it's good to reward teams that played really well during the regular season by allowing them to host a playoff game. On the other hand, I think it's really important to have winning your division still mean something. Even if you don't happen to have one of the best records in the league, you still won your division. So, not so rapid fire. I don't know.
Here, I will add to that.
Convince me otherwise.
No, well, here's what I will say, because I don't think I can. Because I'm kind of in the same boat, but I will say this. I feel like we spend a lot of time, the NFL, the fans, the teams themselves who propose these rule changes, they all spend a lot of time saying, make the playoffs more fair for my team. No, make it more fair for my team. When we do this, if we do this, there will be new concerns that will come up and be like, oh, well, yeah, of course that team has a better record. They play in a weaker division. And then we'll have that argument. How about instead of making the playoffs better for your team, make your team better for the playoffs? Whether you get good seeding, bad seeding, whatever seeding, be the best team. Be the Giants that went in there with, barely a 500 record, and Eli Manning and Plaxico Burress and everybody else. They won the Super Bowl. Go be that team. Stop trying to make the playoffs fit your thing that you need if you're the Lions or whoever. Stop with all these rule changes. I'm fine with the way it is. Just leave it alone.
Rapid Fire number 2.
Scientists have apparently brought back dire wolves from extinction. What extinct animal would you like to see brought back from extinction?
First of all, they didn't bring back dire wolves. They made some wolves that look like dire wolves, but genetically they're not dire wolves. Okay?
Right.
Let's not give them credit for something they didn't do. Second of all, I've said this a million times. If you didn't make it, now maybe it's no fault of your own. You're in the perfectly happy, killing things and eating things, and all of a sudden the climate changes on you. You got nothing to do about that, but you just die. Sorry. Yeah. It's over for you. It's over for Bozo. If we're going to bring anything back, let's not concentrate on making elephants hairy. Let's not concentrate on white wolves. Let's bring Neanderthals back.
Oh.
They're our closest relative, right? We have some DNA of them still living in us because we interbreeded. Who's to say that we can't make that Geico commercial reality?
That's interesting. I will say, though, the animal that I think got a raw deal was the dodo bird. I think that was in Australia, because I don't feel like it was really like poorly adapted. It was just like humans showed up and were like, oh, we can just hit these things on the head because they're so nice and trusting. It'd be like if we killed off dogs because they're friendly to us. Like that, I feel like the dodo birds got a raw deal, is what I'm saying. So maybe bring them back.
They're really put together, I hear.
Yeah,
they are really
built like all
put together.
I hear they're built like all of Australia, Teddy.
Rapid fire number 3.
Today is National Zoo Lovers Day.
And I do love the zoo.
What's your favorite thing to see at the zoo?
Oh, you know what it is.
Can I tell you a little...
Elephant dong.
Oh, I saw that. That's not my favorite, though. Although I'm glad I saw it. It was educational.
Yeah.
Here's a little commercial for our zoo. Breaking news.
Uh-huh.
Common man here for the zoo.
Oh, you're going to be nice to him now. That's good.
I'm always nice to him.
When you were yelling at him for being not accredited and you were making fun of Jack Hanna.
Let me tell you
and all
something.
That stuff. Yeah.
Looky here.
Yeah, you looky
I've
here.
always been a patron. I got my yearly pass. I go all the time.
Uh-huh.
I do think, when they're stealing money from the coffers.
Well, yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
I agree.
How dare I say that?
No, that's the people who did that are going to jail.
That's right, and they should go to jail.
They should go to jail, yeah.
But even all that, even criminals running the organization.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I hope not.
Yeah.
I've been to like Animal Planet down at Disney World, and it was a complete and total miss for me because the entire time I'm down there, again, this is Walt Disney, okay?
Yeah.
They're sparing no expense. Mm-hmm. They're making this huge thing, which I know they say is not a zoo, but it's still an animal attraction. I'm there the entire time. It's like, if you squint on this safari, maybe you can see a zebra. Or you can go over to our zoo and see things up close.
Yep.
See everything that they have at Animal Kingdom, but better.
Yeah.
We take for granted that we have such a wonderful zoo right in our area. It's fantastic.
I don't agree. I don't disagree with you at all. You are dodging this question.
No, here's my answer.
What's your favorite thing to see at the zoo?
It's either the cheetah run,
which
I enjoy very much,
Cheetah run is great.
Going to see the gorillas in the glass.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like I relate to them, species to species. I feel like we have a connection with each other, especially when he starts playing with his dong.
I am still a sucker for that manatee exhibit. I still like going in there, in part because they also have like a pelican in there, and I'm a big fan of pelicans. Pelicans rule. They're like giant dinosaur birds with floppy mouths.
All birds are dinosaurs.
Well, I know that, but that one is like big, and I like a big bird. That's what I'm saying.
Rapid fire number 4.
We were talking with Jason Stark about what his favorite baseball movie is, and he said Bull Durham. What are your guys' top 3 baseball movies?
This is going to be blasphemy, but Bull Durham's not in my top 3.
Oh, you know what? It's not in mine either.
All right, everybody can hate us all at once. It's fine. Field of Dreams, Major League. What am I going to put? What else? 8 Men Out.
Oh, it's a good one. I'm going to go with Major League is in my top 3.
Oh, and the Bernie Mac opus, Mr. 3000.
I don't think that's a terrible movie.
It's not a terrible movie, but it's also not a good movie.
I really liked Little Big League.
Little Big League was good.
Where the kid runs the
Better
twins.
than Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year was fun. I watched Rookie of the Year more as a kid. But all right.
Yeah, really.
But let me tell you, the best baseball movie for me, better than all those, Sandlot. My number 1 baseball movie.
You know what?
I effing love The Sandlot.
I feel like that gets overlooked.
And I know the reason for this is because on my 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C., which I feel like every school around here did back when I was a kid, back when I was banging, we watched that movie on repeat on the bus all the way out and all the way back. So by the end of it, when we graduated from high school, senior year, we're writing in each other's yearbooks, we will be friends forever, just like they said in The Sandlot.
James Earl Jones in that one, too.
Yes, he was.
Field of Dreams and Sandlot.
Yeah. Can't have a good baseball movie without James Earl Jones. I mean, you can, but there's a few that he's in.
Excuse me.
All right, rapid fire number 5.
I was disappointed I didn't hear Mr. Baseball.
Which one's that?
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck when he's in Japan.
Yeah.
I have no knowledge of this movie.
I've
never seen it. I don't even know if I think you're making this up.
When he's with Kyoto in the tub?
The only one I know of his is 3 Men and a Baby.
I don't know her name. What's her name, Teddy?
I don't know, but you're spot on.
3 Men and a Baby? Is that not it? Okay.
No,
then I don't know.
Different movie entirely.
Okay. No. Rapid fire number 5.
Yeah, come on, Ted.
All right. What movie do you quote the most?
Well, I know that with you and Tim has got to be Christmas Vacation and Field of Dreams. Yeah.
Is it Field of Dreams or Christmas Vacation?
I think it's Christmas Vacation slightly more. Just because I've heard Let Him Finish, I think, a million times.
We were doing
November.
Back to the Future in there earlier.
That's true.
We did a lot of Back to the Future.
Yeah. I will say that the one that I've probably quoted the most in my life is Dumb and Dumber. That's one of my all-time favorites. Office Space also gets quoted from me quite.
You quote Big Lebowski.
I do like Big Lebowski. That's right. Ties a room together. Yeah.
Teddy, what about you?
Probably Christmas Vacation, but Major League is another one.
Yeah, Major League I do a lot too. I know what Bodie's answer is.
What's that?
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, that's right. I thought you were going to say Rudy for a second.
Oh, God. All right, thanks, Ted. That was great.
You're welcome.
By the way,
we need a longer music bed on that.
Get on that, producer of the show.
I have a question. We were talking about animals coming back. Mastodon. You mentioned you don't need hairy elephants, but do we know? I don't know the difference. I just realized mastodon, woolly mammoth.
Different.
I know they're different, but they're both like elephant related. They have giant tusks. I know a woolly mammoth is woolly. A mastodon, I presume, is not. But I don't know which one's bigger. I don't know which one's older. Didn't we have woolly mammoths around here? I feel like we had woolly mammoths walking around in Ohio. I don't know if we had mastodons.
I'm looking. Mastodons and woolly mammoths were both large extinct proboscideans.
Sure.
But mastodons were smaller and stockier with straighter tusks.
Okay.
While mammoths were larger with curved tusks, adapted for grazing, whereas mastodons browsed on leaves and twigs.
Gotcha.
Mastodons had flatter heads. Mammoths had a bulging bone knob.
Hell yeah, me too, brother. That's right. I know what you mean.
Hey, bulging bone knob on the top of their skulls.
Okay.
Bulging bone knob.
I saw a video, by the way, the other day of an elephant in the wild, and it's walked up to a tree. The tree has very tall branches,
pee-pee?
like no lower. No pee-pee involved.
No pee-pee?
No lower branches on this tree. It was probably like 20, 25 feet before you get to the branches of this tree. What does this elephant do?
Knock down the tree?
He literally just put his one of his feet on it and just pushed on it. You hear the thing start to crack? He just pushed a full-grown, alive tree to the ground and then just started eating now all of it's laying on the ground. He eats the fresh branches and the leaves and everything. And I thought, I have no idea how powerful those things are, but I would never mess with one.
I took a look at Baines in the shower. He looks like all of Australia. He is really put together.
One of my favorite guys is back doing his thing. Man, that's a hell of a tease. I'll tell you who and what coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
On westbound I-70, it's an accident now moved onto the right berm between Wilson Road and 270. Still got delays building up in the area. And another accident on Alum Creek at Winslow Drive. This report is sponsored by Cordell and Cordell. Cordell and Cordell Divorce and Family Law, 866-323-7529, 866-323-7529. Cordell and Cordell, a partner you can count on, CordellCordell.com. I'm Eddie Zalek, 497.1 The Fan Traffic.
Hey, living with chronic pain, it's like trying to get comfortable on a cactus sofa, walking on pins and needles. Nothing feels good. And forget trying to do the things you love and enjoy. Like the spring, it's getting warm, whether you want to golf, whether you want to hike, whether you want to bike, whether you want to play pickleball. You're just trying to get by. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter here. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. Finally, calm that debilitating joint pain in your knee just like I did. Maybe it's your hip, your shoulder, your back. Don't miss a beat, no surgery or long recovery. I'm done with getting cut on. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back. A life healthier, free of harmful meds. That's the whole mission of QC Kinetics. You could be a candidate. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus to find out how easy it is. They've got offices now in Canal and Grove City, so call 380-208-4544.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Hear that?
That's the sound of saving a good deal more when you shop with M-Perks at Meijer. Some delicious blueberries, money saved. A creamy treat of cookie dough ice cream, that's money saved. Savings, savings, savings. Because every dollar spent is also 10 points earned in M-Perks, which you can use to save on your next grocery trip or up to $1 off per gallon on your next tank of gas. At Meijer, we work hard to help you save a good deal more for a whole lot less. That's bringing more good to life. Exclusions apply. See mperks.com for details.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Day's Buckeyes are back on the practice field as they get ready for whatever the hell they're calling the spring game. And we're your home for all the on and off field gossip. Your Buckeye flagship station, The Fan. The Fan.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a mysterious room of long-forgotten, moldy mascot memorabilia. Often pitched by ad agencies, always rejected by NJM. Is it real? We may never know. But what is real is NJM's dedication to doing what's right for their customers. Astoundingly, they're proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Learn more at njm.com.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. Pay no interest till 2030 plus $500 off your home improvement project. Restrictions apply. Call them today. 614-502-5220. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Not doctors, not lawyers, and definitely not sports hosts. You're listening to Man and Bone.
We had Ryan Day on in the 3 o'clock hour. Actual Ryan Day, not just pumpkin Ryan Day. So make sure you listen to the podcast later if you missed that interview. Tell your friends and tell them how stupid we are on a normal basis. Now T-Bone's going to sell you something.
Well, man, maybe you noticed over the last... It depends on the hour. If it's warm in Central Ohio, cool in Central Ohio, or freezing in Central Ohio, we're in the spring. But as you know, if it's cold out, sometimes you feel that if you have windows that are drafty, leaking air. In the summer, you know what that means. You're leaking all the air conditioning out of your house. You're paying more in energy bills. You don't want that either way. Whether it's winter, summer, or in between, you need good windows in your house. And you can get not just good, but great windows that are fully insulated. The best insulated windows you can buy, they're from Window Nation. They're made in the USA. They have 5-star reviews out the wazoo. How about 20,000 of them on their website and 96% customer satisfaction rating?
The big wazoo.
That's right. Right now, you can get 4 free windows with every 4 you buy. Plus, you can get 0% interest, 0 payments for 2 years. You pay nothing until 2027, and you finally get all that energy that's leaking out of your house. You save it. You keep it in your house. You do that with Window Nation. Call them today, 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Again, that's 866-90-NATION or windownation.com.
One of my favorite guys, and I say that in total and complete jest, is Major League Baseball umpire C.B. Bucknor.
Oh, he's great.
He's fantastic.
Doing so well in his job.
What? Joe West is gone, and Angel Hernandez is gone, and Laz Diaz, he's still around, right?
Is he? Okay.
I think so. Anyway, C.B. Bucknor is next on my list of guys I just hate because they're bad.
What a reason to not like someone.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you can say, so-and-so's obnoxious, they think they're bigger than the game, or they want to make it all about themselves, but at the end of the day, still a pretty good umpire. Gene Steratore was that type of guy to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Where I thought he always made it about himself. And now look at him. He's on TV making it all about himself. So I guess it worked out for him. But at the end of the day, I thought he was a decent referee and college basketball official.
Yeah, he did the NFL and he did college basketball.
Right. C.B. Bucknor is horrible. Maybe a great guy off the field. I have no idea. But at his job, horrible. Follow Umpire Auditor on X, at Umpire Auditor. They got some good stuff on there. And they hold these officials and referees and what am I looking for? What's the term? Umpires. That's the term I'm looking for, Bone.
It's umpire auditor. Thank God that's who they're auditing.
That's right. Umpire C.B. Bucknor blew 15 calls, including 4 strikeouts in the Rockies-A's game last night. Of the 15 bad calls, 11 went against the Rockies. Bucknor leads the league in blown strikeouts. But there's no way for him to be fired. He's like a teacher with tenure.
Yeah, because the umpires union is so strong, right? That's why they have such a difficult time getting rid of any of these guys who suck at their jobs. When you said that, these umpires, some of them are just bad, but they don't make it about themselves, you're right. But I do feel like the ones who tend to be awful umpires in Major League Baseball, right? I don't know about referees in other sports, but definitely in Major League Baseball, that seems to be the one where you miss a certain amount of calls over and over again. And certain teams, maybe it happens to them because they have you more often as an umpire or whatever. And then you get into July, it's 90 degrees out, everyone's miserable. It's a second game of the day, right? You're making something up. And then he blows a call in the 8th inning of a game where you're already exhausted and you lose it on him. And then that's when these umpires go, oh, you don't show me up. You're out of here. And they do end up making it about themselves, don't they? Because they've been poor. They've been terrible. The teams finally have enough and get onto them for it. And then they have to say, you don't show me up like that. Well, maybe if you had some humility about it and said, hey, you know what? I may have missed that call. My bad. I'm going to let you get your say in, and then I'm going to send you back to the dugout, and we're going to move on. That would be a way to handle that if you know you're not a great umpire, but that lack of self-awareness does them in.
Got baseball today. Home opener for the Guardians, and it is that bottom 3? Bottom 3, no score. White Sox and Guardians. Jack Sawyer threw out the first pitch. I actually just got a look at that, and he airmailed it over everyone. He's a powerful man.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
He's a little hyped up, Who can blame him?
He went from the mound.
Sure.
And even the mascot didn't have a What's the mascot's name? That stupid thing?
Grinder,
the purple?
I believe.
Gapper?
No? Okay.
Grinder?
No, he said grinder. I thought he was
like the
Slider.
Slider. Oh, that's it. I barely know her.
Slider? You F.
Splitter.
Hey, man. I'm in the peanut gallery.
This guy's
a sinker.
This guy's he's just like a sandwich. He's like a grinder. That's what I meant. Like he gets in there.
It's a sandwich, right?
Yeah, it's a hot sandwich. Yeah. That's what you want. A hot sandwich. Grinder.
Speaking of sandwich, specifically sandwich cookies, have you noticed by you that the grocery stores are not stocking Elf cookies?
Oh.
Like Keebler Elf sandwich cookies the last 3 weeks that I've gone, and Kristen eats them every single day, and I got to come home and say they don't have any Elf cookies. And she thinks I'm lying to her. I swear to God,
right?
My grocery store has no Elf cookies.
I went through this a few years ago with, I like those granola, they're not really granola, they're chewy bars. Like they're the puffed rice granola bars,
Quaker.
Chewy brand. Yeah, but they call them like Chewy brand. They have ones that are covered in chocolate, and they have peanut butter in there.
Delicious. I've had it.
And you know what? It's not really that healthy, but compared to eating like a full-on candy bar, I'll take it, right?
That's how you and me, we do our stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I know I just had 9 cheeseburgers, but at least I'm not on heroin. Right?
Yeah, it's like, hey, but I got the Quaker candy bar over
That's
there. No,
right.
excuse me, I'm going to hit a Taco Bell and do about $30 worth of damage. Anyway, there was like a 6-month to a year period where I went looking for those, and they didn't have the Quaker brand. They didn't have the store brand. They had nothing. They had
What's happening? Tariffs?
They had the Chewy bar with the marshmallow, whatever, and the chocolate chips in there, but it wasn't covered in chocolate, enrobed in that beautiful chocolate. And I said, why no Chewy covered chocolate bar
thing.
And then it just randomly came back one day. It was like no explanation, no apology from the store. It's just back there.
You can't toy with our emotions like this. Another thing, Costco has not been having in stock the little tiny Kirkland chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, no,
They haven't had them.
You mean the individual packs where you get the big box?
Not that or the big one.
Either one.
No.
Oh, you can't do that.
And it's their own brand. It's Kirkland.
Yes, of course. They're delicious. They're great. And by the way, this is health advice from someone who weighs well over 300 pounds. They are only 100 calories for one of those little blue packs of chocolate chip cookies. Now, if you eat 4 of them,
some blue chew
if you eat 4 of them, they still add up. But I think they're like 100 calories for one of those packs, and they were good.
Those are delicious. So I'm going through cookie problems at the house. It may ruin my marriage. Fat Boy Food Tap coming up next. Colin Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
On Alum Creek, it is an accident over at Winslow Drive. Eastbound west outer belt, a disabled vehicle onto the right berm, that between US 62 and I-71. This report is sponsored by Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell, Divorce and Family Law, 866-323-7529, 866-323-7529. Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on, CordellCordell.com. I'm Eddie Zellick, 497.1, The Fan Traffic.
Bo Bishop here. High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America at the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or the 3 restaurant locations in Gahanna, Grandview, or Westerville. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
When you buy from Pella, you could meet Brad, Bob, maybe Mike, or 54 others that make our local Pella team so awesome.
And if you buy from me, you'll get to meet me.
Just a one-man operation, Wilson?
I've got a bunch of cousins helping me, but based on their work, I'm not sure they've got thumbs.
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Skyline nachos are back, and now there's a spicy version. Get them with Skyline's cheddar or habanero cheese, topped with fiery jalapeno slices. But hurry, Skyline's regular and new spicy nachos are only at participating restaurants for a limited time.
If you're like most Americans, you've racked up tens of thousands in credit card debt. You're stuck with 20% interest fees, and even the monthly payments, well, they're hard to make. It's insane. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. The good news is that there is a way out. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Advantage First Lending. They specialize in fast, easy access to the equity in your home. Most homeowners have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their home equity. That's your money. AFLcash.com can get it out for you with zero junk fees and zero hassle. You can pay off all those credit cards in just a matter of days. Pay off your car loans too. Cut your monthly expenses by $800 or even $900. I'm telling you, the relief you need, well, it's right there at your fingertips. AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Break out of the credit card debt prison with AFLcash.com.
Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
1-800-GOT-JUNK makes space for possibilities.
When our clean, shiny truck arrives, it's the sign of a new beginning, a clean start, a breath of fresh air.
All the animals start giggling, a rainbow appears, and music fills the air.
Your best friend calls with happy news. Every table has fresh flowers on it, and your nights are full of candlelight.
We bring the springtime.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to LifeSearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit LifeSearch.com today.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. Blue Jackets try and snap a three-game losing skid when they host Ottawa tonight at Nationwide Arena. 7:30 face-off here on the Fan with 6 games left. Jackets 8 points out in the chase for the final Eastern Conference wildcard spot. Baseball today, Cleveland Guardians with their home opener. They're scoreless in the fourth with the Chicago White Sox. Cincinnati Reds try for a second straight win, playing in San Francisco tonight. Columbus Clippers on the road, beginning a series at Worcester this evening. Ohio State basketball adding another in the transfer portal today. 6'8", 240-pound forward Brandon Knoll from Wright State, where he averaged a career-high 19 points and 7 rebounds last year. Cleveland Cavaliers at home with the Chicago Bulls tonight. The Cavs will be without All-Star guard Donovan Mitchell due to an ankle injury. This update brought to you by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Back when I was banging, this show slapped. Whatever the hell that means. You're listening to Common Man and T-Bone.
Our special guest in the 3 o'clock hour today was none other than Ryan Day. Pumpkin Ryan Day was also here with him. We did get a picture of him and the two of us and Pumpkin Ryan Day.
Jen Winters, who is also the creator of Pumpkin Ryan Day, got a picture with Ryan Day and with Pumpkin Ryan Day.
I don't think there's a person on earth that Jen Winters has more affection for than Ryan Day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she
wants to molest him.
No, well, she respects the job he does as a head coach.
And she wants to molest him.
Well, that's all right. I mean, that's between her and him, I guess. But yeah, she did a very good job, very professional. What she didn't do, which I've seen some people do in this business that you and I have both worked with, who come in here and are like, oh, Ryan Day's here. And then they run to their office and grab something off of their tchotchke desk.
Oh,
and they come in here with a pen and go, Ryan Day, would you please sign this for me? It's like,
how embarrassing that is.
You work in this business with people like Ryan Day. Like, we should expect coaches, players, big celebrities from the sports world to pop into our studios from time to time. What we shouldn't do is harass them with, hey, can you please sign everything known to man? Like, that's just poor play.
Let me tell you a little story. When Thad Matta was first hired here, Torg and I had him on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes into the studio, and our program director at the time, who was completely and totally clueless, but even this was a new low for him, came into the radio studio and said, can you sign this for Thad Matta?
Okay.
And he handed him a baseball.
Oh, my God.
Now, how do you look somebody in the eye and say, yeah, that's the guy who's running the radio station. Can you sign his baseball, please?
Yeah.
That's exactly the reaction that Thad had.
Right. No, I think now it is different. For example, I have asked both Bobby Carpenter, Tyvis Powell to sign like items that have Ohio State on them because I know someone who's doing a charity
Well,
auction.
I know, but you also do jersey swaps. You signed a 4X Hanes shirt for them and gave it to them.
I do. I would gladly sign anything for them. I don't think they need it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if I work with you every day and we have become friendly, then I feel like that's a little different. I'm asking you to help out someone else who's a friend of mine. That's not for my personal collection. But if someone comes in here who is a known entity, they walk in here to do an interview. No, it's not. Also, then can you stop at the desk and sign everybody's T-shirts, baseball cards, and footballs? Like, you don't. That's not good.
I'm a little upset with myself that we only asked him one food question.
I'm with you.
And hopefully there's more visits, but I did ask him, any meal, you're in the house, you got your soft clothes on, you got nowhere to go, what do we have? And he said bone-in ribeye, and he also said chicken parm with a side of pasta.
These are both great selections. I feel like some restaurant locally will say, oh, yeah, we're making that. That's the Ryan Day now. You're going to have that as an option.
Hyde Park has a Ryan Day steak on the menu, and I want to say it's a bone-in ribeye.
It probably is, if that's what he likes. I'm sure they did something that was very similar to what he likes. I'm just saying maybe you throw a chicken parm on as like do you want the full coach's experience? Well, then you add this too. And then now you have the whole meal. We told him you pulled the pin. There's no consequences for what you're about to do to your body when you eat all that. And that's what he picked out.
Fat Boy Food Tap.
Common Man and T-Bone have very little value unless they're telling you about all the crap they can shove in your mouth so you can die quicker. It's time for Fat Boy Food Tip. Wait, how do you want me to say it? Tip. This is dumb. I quit.
Sponsored by Metal Supermarkets. Visit metalsupermarkets.com/Columbus for all your metal needs.
I forgot to mention this, and we're going to talk about crumble cookies in a second. When I was off on spring break with the kiddo, we had a little day where it was just like a daddy-daughter day, and went shopping, did some fun stuff, went to lunch. We were heading home. It was about 4:15. On Home Road, they've got a Parlor Donuts over there, which you and I have had. They brought it in here, and it's very delicious.
Yeah, it is.
So I said, let's stop at Parlor Donuts and pick some stuff up for Mom on the way home. And Mom, we're going to eat it too, obviously.
Right.
Hell with her. So we pull up there. I was unaware that they closed at 4. I had no idea they were closed at 4. I try the handle. It's locked. And we start walking back to the car. They open the door because obviously they're still in there cleaning stuff up. And the dude who was working there, I assume he's the manager or something, said, I can't let a little kid go by and not have a donut. So he gave us a free dozen Parlor Donuts.
Oh, wow.
Now, I'm sure they were going to throw them away because it's the end of the day, but still, he didn't have to do that. And I saw other people going up, and he was also giving donuts to them. This is not me saying wait till they close and then get free donuts.
No.
I am saying that's excellent customer service. You have a fantastic product, but you've also earned a customer for life. So whoever that guy is, Ned, Kip, Bill, I don't know, small name.
Sure.
Give him a raise.
That's very good. I love to hear that. That's what you're supposed to do. It's treating your customers the correct way.
All right, Crumble Cookies has 6 new flavors inspired by the Kardashians and Jenners, because of course we are.
Okay.
Chris's classic yellow layer cake cookie, 2 layers of yellow cake swirled with fudge frosting, topped with a chocolate glaze and chocolate curls, and Botox. They also just throw that right in there, too. Courtney's flourless chocolate cake, gluten-free chocolate cake made with 0 refined sugar, drizzled with a dark chocolate glaze and topped with raspberries. Fine.
Is Courtney the one that's with Travis Barker now?
She was married to... Was she married to Lamar, or was that Chloe?
I think that was Chloe, right? Chloe was the one
I can't keep them straight.
I think, and she was also... was Chloe also with Tristan Thompson at one point? Anyway, what I'm saying is, one of them is married to or dating or whatever Travis Barker, the drummer from Blink-182, and I think it's Courtney. And I didn't know they were no gluten, but let her live.
Kim's Snickerdoodle crumb cake. I can't believe I married a Nazi cookie. Snickerdoodle cookies smothered in white chocolate chips, covered with a cinnamon streusel crunch, and drizzled with white chips. That sounds delicious. Oh. I love a Snickerdoodle. I feel like it gets left behind.
I'm with you on the Snickerdoodle. I don't see it as a bad cookie at all. It's one of my favorites.
Well, it's a sugar cookie, but you add the luscious ingredient of cinnamon.
And how cinnamon and sugar is better than just plain sugar.
I'm with you.
So we agree.
Chloe's Cookies and Cream Skillet Cookie. This sounds delicious. Dark chocolate brownie with cookies and cream pieces and scoops of vanilla bean cookies and cream mousse. Finished with a drizzle of
cookies and cream mousse? Is that what they said?
Scoops of vanilla bean cookies and cream mousse.
There we go.
Finished with a drizzle of chocolate ganache.
Ooh, chocolate ganache.
I assume that's served warm? You're going to call something a skillet cookie, you better give it to me warm.
You know what? I hope they give you a take-home skillet. Just give you here's a 10-inch skillet for you as well. It's $47.
Kendall's cookie dough cupcake cookie, brown sugar cookie with semi-sweet chocolate chips, cookie dough-inspired buttercream, crumbled cookie pieces and topped with crumble cookie dough bits. And finally, Kylie's pink confetti sugar cookie. Vanilla sugar cookie with rainbow sprinkles and pink cake batter buttercream. That's fine. I mean, I'd eat it, but the other ones look better.
Okay. Yeah, these all sound like, you know what? If someone put them in front of me, I would definitely try any of these.
You can get it as a 6-piece set, served in a limited edition box for $22.99.
Well, now I'll probably just stick with their regular servings. If I don't need the commemorative box. I don't really care.
Why not? Well, how do you know?
No. I'm saying, I would try these if it was just here are the flavors. Like Krispy Kreme just has flavors that you can add into a dozen donuts. I would try some of these flavors. I'm saying I don't need the commemorative box because it's not that's for Kardashians fans. I'm not a Kardashians fan. I let you live if you are. I'm just saying that's not for me.
Also, Krispy Kreme is doing Easter-themed donuts.
Oh,
so stop in and get some of those.
One last thing. I saw this. Subway, they announced their Doritos footlong nachos. Are you aware of that?
No.
So it's a big footlong, cardboard tray.
Yeah.
They put Doritos in it, and then they put the toppings from some of their favorite Subway classics, are put on top of that. So you get a warm nacho experience with cheese and sauce.
A steak and cheese and
it says
Doritos on the bottom?
One of them, for example, has shredded Monterey cheddar cheese sauce, spicy jalapeno slices, diced tomatoes, red onions, finished with zesty Baja Chipotle sauce. Here's the reason I'm telling you. And you can also upgrade this. You can add steak to it or rotisserie-style chicken at no extra cost. Here's what I'm telling you this. Thursday, April 10th, if you order a footlong sub on Thursday, April 10th, you will get for free a footlong nachos from Doritos from Subway. So you go in, you order the footlong sub, you get one of these nacho trays to try for free. Seems like a good deal if you want to try that out. It does mean you have to eat a full Subway footlong, but whatever. That's part of the downside.
Fish calls BS on the Subway footlong.
What do you mean?
Because he said he used to work at Subway when he was in high school, and they're 10 inches, not 12.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, I didn't know they were doing that.
Now, maybe he's a liar, or maybe they've changed it since then.
When he was working there, because once upon a time, Subway used to do they'd cut the top, they would cut that bun for you.
That's right.
They'd cut the top little triangle out, lay that aside, put all the toppings in, put that back on top. That's the Subway I grew up on. And then they changed. They became the healthy food option, and now everything's different. But
they're not healthy anymore. I mean, it can be
but you
healthy,
remember when they,
you can get super fat going there. When they had the molester on.
When Jared was there,
the kitty rapist guy.
They're like, hey, this guy walked 8 miles a day and then also ate one of our sandwiches. Go figure, he lost weight. And it's yeah, because he walked a bunch. That's why he lost weight.
He walked all the way to Thailand where he engaged in activities. But he lost weight doing it.
Oh, that's a whole... Oh, that guy was just awful.
From Indianapolis, right?
Was Jared from Indianapolis?
I
didn't
want to say he was, yeah.
Okay. No good.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I want to say no more, getting himself a shrimp cocktail.
Now he's in jail.
Extra horsey.
Now he's in jail forever.
Another example of why we don't take photos of our pee-pee. That is coming up next. And no, it has nothing to do with Jared Fogle. That's just a bad coincidence. Colin Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
2 right lanes are blocked off from an accident involving a semi southbound west outer belt between Cemetery and Roberts Road. Emergency crews are there on scene. And still got that crash Alum Creek at Winslow Drive with police on scene. This report is sponsored by Ohio Basement Authority. Want a man cave, playroom, or guest space in your basement? Contact Ohio Basement Authority, the basement finishing experts. Book your free inspection today at ohiobasementauthority.com, licensed in all states where work is performed. I'm Eddie Zellick, 497.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
If the family of raccoons living in your garage are thinking of moving out because your garage door is too ugly even for them, we are Deluxe Door Systems. For 30 years, transforming the look of people's homes for less than you think. DeluxeDoorSystems.com.
Hey, living with chronic pain. It's like trying to get comfortable on a cactus sofa, walking on pins and needles. Nothing feels good. And forget trying to do the things you love and enjoy. Like the spring, it's getting warm, whether you want to golf, whether you want to hike, whether you want to bike, whether you want to play pickleball. You're just trying to get by. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter here. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. Finally, calm that debilitating joint pain in your knee just like I did. Maybe it's your hip, your shoulder, your back. Don't miss a beat, no surgery or long recovery. I'm done with getting cut on. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back. A life healthier, free of harmful meds. That's the whole mission of QC Kinetics. You could be a candidate. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus to find out how easy it is. They've got offices now in Canal and Grove City, so call 380-208-4544.
Before you start your day, UDF has already started making your breakfast right in our bakery. We've got buttery, flaky croissants baked before the crack of dawn. We're making fluffy buttermilk biscuits from scratch by the time the sun starts to think about rising. And before you hit your first alarm, we've piled our biscuits and croissants high with sausage, egg, and cheese right in store. So come in and grab a fresh one and let us make you a morning person. Fresh baked breakfast sandwiches from United Dairy Farmers. UDF, mornings made for you.
Hey friends, Beamer here, 70 pounds down. Let that sink in. I'm officially 70 pounds down, all thanks to Awaken 180, and I've transitioned smoothly into maintenance mode. This isn't just weight loss, this is life-changing stuff. I've dropped over 13% body fat, my visceral fat points are down by 8, and honestly, I feel like a completely new man. The coolest part, Awaken 180 just doesn't say congrats and then wave goodbye. They prepare you for maintenance, so now I get to reintroduce to myself foods that I love. Pizza, ice cream, very excited about all of that. My mindset's completely different though now. Do I crave junk food? Honestly, no. Can I eat those things now? Sure. Will I? Absolutely. But the difference is I no longer feel like I need them all the time. And Awaken 180's free support for life means that this weight's staying off. My body's now working for me instead of against me. I'm finally at my healthy baseline weight. I feel awesome. Change your mindset, change your life. Awaken 180 made it happen for me. And if it can happen for me, it can 100% happen for you. Check them out online at awaken180weightloss.com. awaken180weightloss.com.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter, he'll be there quick.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week. But not OJ, because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
We're catching up with that famous deep-sea explorer, Jacques Black Jacques. Jacques, where are you today? You're in Columbus. What could you possibly be exploring in Columbus?
The April showers bring flooding to Batmans.
Oh, I see. Spring rains mean basements are flooding.
This not necessary. Apex Pros.
Not necessary. Call Apex Pros.
A simple zoom pump chick.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding this. Zoom pump check. Sump pump check. Are you saying sump pump check?
Oui.
Yes, of course. Sump pump check from the pros who knows at Apex Pros.
They come to your house.
They come to your house.
They test your zoom pump.
They test your, what is it again? Zoom pump. Sump pump, right.
All with a 5-star guarantee.
All with a 5-star guarantee. Now, see, I understood that perfectly.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Steel, walk behind, zero turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Bright, breezy, dry, and chilly on this Tuesday. Temperatures only near 40 degrees. Overnight, we'll see widespread frost, clear skies, light winds, upper 20s when you wake up Wednesday morning. And during the day, increasing clouds, much of your Wednesday dry. See a shower late in the evening with highs around 50 degrees. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
Best known for their contributions to the fast food breakfast world. This is Man and Bone.
Game show coming up at 5:30. What's the game this week, Bone?
This week we are doing sibling trivia. Famous siblings. Some more famous than others, I'll be honest. But, we'll have that coming up.
You know what tomorrow is, don't you?
Oh, I know what tomorrow is. Yeah, buddy.
Oh, by the way, Ryan Day. So we talked to Ryan Day in the 3 o'clock hour. I know. And he told us, essentially, he just wasn't going to tell us that there's a lot under the surface there on Jim Knowles. And I can't wait to mine for some gold on that one.
Well, he said, I'm not going to get into all that
I know
right
he's
now.
not now. It's his first visit.
I was glad, though, because how many of us have wondered for all this time with the Larry Johnson thing, right? Between him and Jim Knowles, we had always heard there was this tension. And he said, he has no reason to say otherwise. He could absolutely say, he could have said something like, there was tension, but we're professionals. We work through it.
That's
Those
right.
guys,
That's right.
He didn't say anything like that.
You can tell there's some juicy stuff there.
Yeah, but what he said was those guys work together great. And then he went into a very detailed football explanation of what was going wrong with the defense, which I enjoyed hearing. So if you haven't heard that, then you can check it out on our YouTube page. Just go search 971 The Fan. You'll find it there. Or, of course, wherever you get podcasts, first hour of this show, that's what we lead off with.
Okay. Looky here.
Okay.
I'm here to help people get through life. Sometimes people can listen to a little portion of this show and make it through the rest of their day. Maybe they get some helpful advice for the rest of their life. Right. Here's my advice to you. Do not send pictures of your dong to anyone.
Ever. Ever.
There is no woman out there who is not regularly in therapy that wants to see it. They may enjoy it when it's dark, but they don't want to see it.
Well, whatever, man. I feel like you can be in the most committed relationship ever. There's just nothing good that comes from send me a picture of what's going on.
If I sent my wife of 18 years a picture of my dog, she would reply unfollow.
Right. That would exactly right. Same here. That's just I don't understand what the thought is going to happen. What do you think is likely to happen? This person's going to call you up and say, "Oh yeah."
Well, here's an example of how you can just ruin your career. Former Tigers assistant general manager Sam Menzin abruptly resigned last week. He said he was there for 13 years, said he was seeking a career change and needed to move home to New York to deal with, quote, some family issues.
Oh, I bet there's family issues after this.
Well, it turns out, according to a report by The Athletic, that he resigned just before the Tigers were going to fire him for improper workplace conduct. The team did not share details of the alleged misconduct. However, two former Tigers employees told The Athletic that Menzin had sent them unsolicited lewd photos. Sent each of them, so multiple people, photos of his genitals using Snapchat.
Which, of course, it deletes after you send. Like, you send it, it's there, and then it deletes. And I'm sure he thought, there we go. I'm in the clear. No, you're not.
The women said they received similar photos from him on occasion dating back to 2017. A third woman who no longer works for the Tigers said that he also sent her graphic photos at some time around 2018 or 2019. So he was taking pictures of his cash and prizes.
You can't do that.
No, of course you can't do that. Look at this guy now.
Well,
13 years in the organization, assistant general manager, and now you're done.
Right. It seems like this should need no further discussion. This seems pretty open and shut. But let me just say that it seems like there are some people occasionally who say, well, though, who among us? No, not who among us.
Me.
Yeah, me.
I'm among you.
I've never done that. I never will do that. I'm not sending pictures of my junk to someone. If you think that's in the realm of possibility for you, you ought to look at yourself in the mirror. And if you have done that, good news. You can change. You don't have to be that person anymore. But why in the world is anybody doing that and thinking that's a good idea at any time in history, but especially in the year 2025, when you have ample examples of people who have done that and it has ruined their career? It's not a good idea. It's never been a good idea. Nobody wants to see it. But also, just selfishly, keep yourself out of getting in trouble. If you're a moron, don't do this.
We got a good thing going on in baseball tonight. Not Major League Baseball. And not even collegiate baseball that you've heard of before.
Okay.
Teddy sent me this, and I'm surprised by the badness. I'm also surprised by the schools. There is a college named Yeshiva. Yeshiva.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of them before?
I can't say that I have.
There's also a college named Lehman. Lehman. Okay, those are two different schools, Yeshiva and Lehman.
Well, do you know where these schools are?
I don't know. Teddy's going to look it up for us.
Doesn't matter.
They're playing tonight in college baseball. Yeshiva is on a 99-game losing streak dating back to 2022. Ooh. Lehman has lost 42 straight since 2023.
You know what they say about that? Something's got to give.
Now, Lehman historically is 17-0 all-time versus Yeshiva.
They obviously haven't played in a while.
Averaging 15.35 runs per game, while Yeshiva averages 3.76 runs per game in the series. So you got a 99-game losing streak against a 42-game losing streak. Teddy, do we have any information on these two colleges? Because you gave me the sheet, but I need more info.
I believe they're in New York.
Well, they're playing this game in Teaneck, New Jersey.
They're in the New York area.
Okay,
so
well,
it says
New York, New Jersey.
It says, well, it's calling them two New York City teams, but they're playing it in Teaneck, New Jersey.
Teaneck isn't. Am I wrong? I don't think Teaneck, New Jersey is too far out of the city.
Maybe they have schools in the city, but they don't have a field there, so they have to go find a field.
Teaneck is right across the river from.
Well, here's the good news.
New York, from Lake Manhattan,
which I just noticed they're playing a doubleheader today. 1 at 2 and 1 at 5. So both of these teams can win.
Split, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe one of them already has.
Well, I'm sure it's 526.
So one of them may have already won. Should get a live update.
You may already be a winner.
Lehman is in the Bronx.
Okay.
What's the enrollment at these schools? Does it say?
Teddy, why are you not Encyclopedia Britannica on these two schools that we've never heard of until today? What is it again? It's Lehman?
Lehman, which is it's a public college in New York City's Bronx neighborhood.
Yeshiva was the other one?
I'm just
looking up. I'm trying to see if I can find a score here.
Yeshiva is a private Orthodox Jewish university. It's got 4 campuses in New York City.
All right.
I wanted to say that, Yeshiva sounded like that, but I didn't. Did I tell you that I'm going to Passover this year?
Are you?
Saturday night.
Oh, okay.
My first Jewish Passover. I was going to say fest. That's not the right term.
I don't know what the term is. Sure.
If you're not unaware, I'm not Jewish.
Okay.
I have no plans on becoming Jewish. However, I was invited by a good friend of mine to come to his home for Passover, and I accept the invitation.
Oh,
so I'm going to
cool.
go, and I'm going to try not to offend people.
Just everything that you're given, you just try it.
No,
you
I know
eat it,
that,
you say
but
thank you,
I'm
that's it.
going to have some questions. I just don't want to ask the wrong questions.
Well, if your questions are, well-intentioned, then you'll be fine. And I know your questions will be. You're just
I know,
wanting to learn more and understand.
I'm nervous about what to wear. Like I bought a new T-shirt from the Kanye collection.
No, don't wear that.
That's not
probably
going to work.
a bad idea. Probably, you know what? Just in general, no matter where you're going, just a bad idea. Yeah, I wouldn't. I
don't know why. He's a bad person. Now, you can say he's a mentally ill person. That's also true. He's also a bad person.
Yeah, right. But also, struggles with mental health are real.
Yes.
They also don't excuse you. Like, you still have to go apologize if you get your mental health issues somewhat figured out.
Well,
you find
he's not going to figure it out.
My point is, if you find ways to deal with them, and then later you realize, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did all these horrible things while I was in that frame of mind, you should go apologize. I'm with you. I don't see him getting that help anytime soon.
All right, game show in 2 minutes. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
Southbound West Outer Belt, it's an accident blocking off the right 2 lanes between Cemetery and Roberts Road. That crash involving a semi. Emergency crews are still there on scene. And eastbound West Outer Belt, a disabled vehicle on the right berm between US 62 and I-71. This report is sponsored by Murphy Tractor. Your job is demanding, so choose a partner who delivers more. At Murphy Tractor and Equipment, they provide John Deere equipment that sets the standard for reliability and performance. Visit murphytractor.com and take your job site to the next level. I'm Eddie Zellick, 497.1 The Fan Traffic.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I always have the greenest lawn in the neighborhood. It's luscious. I swear by 2 things, water and Weed Man. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will make sure your lawn is weed-free and looking gorgeous. Of course, they get rid of weeds, but they also do aeration, mosquito control, grub control, crabgrass prevention, and flea and tick control for your 4-legged friends. For a free quote, give them a call, 614-733-3747, weedmanusa.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Yes, we tried unplugging and then plugging them back in. It didn't help. This is Man and Bone.
Happy Tuesday. All right, we have an update before we get to game show. 2 college baseball programs, both awful, one slightly more awful than the next. Yeshiva, which is a Jewish college in New York City, on a 99-game losing streak dating back to 2022. Lehman, also a small college in New York City. They've lost 42 straight games since 2023. I don't want to say 2023. 2023.
Right.
They're playing a doubleheader today, 1 at 2, 1 at 5. Teddy, who won the first game?
I want to congratulate Yeshiva. They did lose game 1. So
they're on a 100-game losing streak.
Wow. And they lost game 1 to Lehman 7-6.
It was a close one. It was a barn burner, but they're on a 100-game losing streak now. Yeshiva. Game 2 is active, and you get a score on it.
Yeah, I believe they just started, but Yeshiva is winning 2-0.
Beautiful.
All right. I mean, I kind of want them both to break their losing streak, don't you?
Well, I mean, yeah, let's split it.
Yeah, then that way, I mean, that's not great for like the historic perspective, but it is great for like those teams getting a win. And then they move on and maybe they go on to have great success the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Or they just lose more games. Either way.
Yeah.
Thanks, At least
Ted.
They have that moment.
Thanks, Ted.
You're welcome.
All right. Today is sibling trivia. I'll give you some famous siblings. You tell me whatever my question is. You try to answer it.
Okay.
First up, which Hemsworth brother is the oldest? Luke Hemsworth, Liam Hemsworth, or Chris Hemsworth?
I don't know Luke.
Okay. Well, which is the oldest of the 3 of them? If you had to guess.
Chris?
No.
Luke?
Yes.
Always go with the one you've never heard of.
You don't know. That's right. Luke is 44 years young. Let him live. He is 3 years older than Chris and 9 years older than Liam. So that's good. I also saw an interview where I believe it was Woody Harrelson was sitting next to Chris Hemsworth, and he had been in a movie with Liam as well. And only in that interview, when they were doing press for whatever movie they were both in, did he realize, oh, you're his brother. Like, had no idea that Liam Hemsworth and Chris Hemsworth, who he had worked with both, were related.
Woody Harrelson seems like the Ricky Henderson of the acting world.
A little bit,
right? I was in a movie with a guy that looked just like you. Yeah, that was me, Woody. We were in the same movie together.
Ricky Henderson with John Olerud.
That's right.
Yeah. The Marx Brothers, perhaps the movie industry's first famous family, but
Carl,
who was the eldest brother? Damn you. You ruined my joke.
Sorry, buddy.
Groucho, Chico, or Carl is what I had, and you beat me to it. Who's the oldest, Groucho or Chico?
Again, I don't know Chico. I know Groucho. I'll go with Chico.
Yeah, you're right. Leonard Joseph Marx, a.k.a. Chico, was the eldest of the brothers, born in 1887. Now, if you don't know the Marx Brothers, that's because you're not 100. But they were like big in the black and white days of television and movies. Harpo Marx was born in 1888. His real name is Adolf Marx. Julius Henry Marx, a.k.a. Groucho Marx, born in 1890. Milton Marx, a.k.a. Gummo, was born in 1892.
Gummo.
And the youngest, Herbert Manfred Zeppo Marx, born in 1901. Chico was the first of the performing Marx Brothers to actually go out and do stuff. He began his showbiz career as a pianist, he would often double book himself to bring in extra money for the family at an early age, and then Harpo and Chico eventually would be brought on the road. They look so similar.
It's like
they
Gallagher.
Could swap in. Yeah, that's
Gallagher
right.
had a brother who would also go out and smash watermelons.
That's right.
And so they book himself in 2 different cities and cash in.
Yeah, as you should. Or shouldn't. I think that's wrong. Next up, what is the name of the Scottish band that consists of a pair of twin brothers? Is it Biffy Clyro, the Fratellis, or the Proclaimers?
Proclaimers.
Yeah. Charlie and Craig.
I would walk 500 miles.
That's
and
right.
I would walk 5. Sunshine on Leaf is the name of that album.
Is it really?
Sunshine on Leaf.
Leaf? Like a
Leaf.
TH? You're saying a TH there,
Yes,
not an F?
Leaf.
Okay, gotcha. Lethal Weapon. No. Charlie and Craig Reed. They were born in Leith, which is why it's called that, a suburb of Edinburgh there too. In 1962, they're famous for such songs as Letter from America. You sang the I'm Gonna Be.
Well, they're a one-hit wonder here, but they can't even go to the bathroom in Scotland. I mean, that's how popular they are. They go to the bathroom, people rip their clothes off.
I didn't realize they had a song on the Shrek soundtrack. I'm on my way. That's them. I didn't know that. Next up, Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez are, of course, brothers, but they have different names. Which one of them changed their name to work professionally?
Charlie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because Martin changed his name too. Martin Sheen, the dad.
Yeah, that's not his real name.
And Emilio Estevez said, I'm going ethnic.
Well, Martin Sheen was born Ramon Estevez. His wife, Janet Templeton, they were the mother and father of, obviously, Charlie and Emilio. But Charlie was born with the name Carlos. They also had siblings Renee and Ramon Estevez, so Ramon Jr., I guess. So, anyway, they didn't get the same success those
Where's
other two.
Gloria fit in? Oh, that's Estefan. Gloria Estefan.
Okay, that's true. Glad you figured that out on your own. That's good. Jaden and Willow Smith of, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, their loins.
Yeah.
Who's older, Jaden or Willow? Yeah, that's right. By how many years would you guess if you had to? 2. Jaden is 26 years old. Willow is 24, which is odd. I would think they're older, but I don't know.
Why is that odd?
I don't know. It feels like they've been around for 20 years. Like they have been around.
They have been around for 20 years.
But it
You
feels
said
like
how
they've
old
been
they are.
popular for like 20 years.
Popular?
You know what I mean? Like they've been in the public eye. Anyway,
let's stop talking.
Brothers Liam and Noel Gallagher formed a Brit pop group. What was it called? No, I know what it's called.
We know Noel is the oldest one.
No, that's not the question. They formed Oasis in 1991. They went on to achieve international success together before they split in 2009. What was the original name of Oasis? And you get no multiple choice on this because you're an Oasis super fan.
Jen is going to come in here and kick me in the nuts. I don't remember.
It has to do with weather. I'll give you that hint.
What the hell is it?
It's the something.
What the hell is it? She's going to kill me. She's going to kill me dead. Just tell me the answer.
Alanis Morissette is a big fan of this. She thinks it's ironic when it happens on your wedding day.
The Rain?
Yes. They were called The Rain. That was originally what they were going to go with until they went with Oasis. Aren't you glad I helped you on that?
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, the rain. I didn't know if that's like lore that I thought if I put this in here, you'd be like, oh my God, Bone.
No, I forgot all about it. Either I forgot it or I didn't know it. One of the two. Either way, I got Alzheimer's.
It's like when you say Pearl Jam. What was their band supposed to be called? You know that.
Mother Love Bone.
Oh, no.
No, Mookie Blaylock.
Mookie Blaylock. That's what it was supposed to be called. That's right.
You did have members of Mother Love Bone that became members of Pearl Jam.
That's what my mom says every time we sign off the phone. She goes, all right, see you later, Mother Love Bone. And I go, thanks. Bone Love Mother.
You F.
And finally, this is kind of anticlimactic. No, wait, I have two more. I'm sorry.
Come on.
Jonas Brothers. Kevin, Joe, and Nick. Which one's the oldest?
I have no idea.
Guess.
Joe.
No. Kevin. Kevin is 30. Kevin is 37. Joe is 35. Nick is 32.
No
one cares.
Don't get scared now.
That's right. I'm glad you caught the reference. Good job. See, I can quote movies too.
I know.
When there's
well,
one,
you know what? Jump in once in a while.
When there's one word. All right. Shakespeare's plays are full of sibling rivalry. But in which play do half-brothers Edmund and Edgar appear? Is it Hamlet or King Lear?
I have no idea.
Me either. I just looked it up.
I'm going to go with Norman Lear.
Hey, you got it right. Edmund and Edgar are both sons of the Earl of Gloucester.
Hey,
however, Edmund...
I did him one night.
Well, good thing you mentioned that, Queen, because Edmund is illegitimate. This rivalry is perhaps second in the play to the rivalry of Lear's three daughters. Oh, I don't know how to say this name. It's not what I think it was. Goneril? That's
Gonorrhea.
not right. That's not right. Regan and Cordelia, who at the beginning of the play have to flatter their father to inherit their portion of his kingdom. However, Cordelia speaks honestly and bluntly, and she's disowned by the king. Anyway, now you know.
You know who gonorrhea's sister is, right?
Oh, yeah, I know, Teddy.
Chlamydia?
No. I thought it was
cocaine. Cocaine.
Cocaine? Oh, I thought you were
cocaine.
Gonna,
yeah. That was what, Mike said in the past. You were talking about strange names that could actually be real names.
I thought diarrhea was the one you liked the most. Is that wrong?
Oh, I thought it was gonorrhea, but maybe it was diarrhea.
It was diarrhea.
And,
but gonorrhea wouldn't be bad. Chlamydia wouldn't be bad.
No. Cocaine is a beautiful name. It's not, don't necessarily agree with using it, but whatever.
Hey, come
on. Yeah, come on. Sure. And finally, the American acting twins, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, they missed their high school prom because they were involved in a popular television show that occurs on Saturday nights. And you really can't bump the taping schedule because in the name, there's something in that name that says you don't tape it. You don't. What show did they miss?
Full House.
Again, their prom was on Saturday.
What is Showtime at the Apollo?
Night, and they can't tape it because it's live. What would that be, Tracy
In living
Morgan?
color.
Yeah, there you go.
When do they tape that show?
I believe on Saturday nights, Teddy. I believe is when they do that.
Saturday Night Live.
You're eating 4 cheese lasagna. Is that right?
Who was the musical? I refuse to ingest 3 cheeses. Who was the musical guest?
I don't know, actually.
Come on.
Wait, hang on. Does it say here? No, it doesn't say. It just says that they missed it.
What year was it?
Live.
I'm going to take a guess.
They were, I don't know, 98? No. I don't know. No, because they started on Full House when they were babies, and that was like 87. So it probably was like 2000, 2001, something like that.
Mary-Kate and Ashley.
I don't know when they were on.
There was one night they were on there. It was Jay Kwan was the musical guest.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know if it was that night or a different one, if they were on there.
I don't know if they hosted. I don't know if they hosted multiple times or not.
I think it was just the one time.
Okay. Well, let him live.
Who's Jay Kwan?
I believe.
I know Stephen Kwan
I believe he's a rapper. Jay Kwan. Oh. Speaking of Jay Kwan from St. Louis, is that right? Okay.
Who's telling you that?
What do you mean? I'm saying, is that right?
Oh. And this segment really hit the skids, didn't it? Had a good run.
Ted was like, oh, man, Jay Kwan was on. And I thought maybe Ted knew more about Jay Kwan.
I just know Jay Kwan was on the show, yes.
Yeah, okay.
He was the musical guest that night.
There you go.
Who's in there with you?
Tyvus is in there.
I can't see him.
He's in there. There's a glare on the
Tyvus
thing.
There's a glare, Tyvus. I didn't
glaring.
see you.
There he is.
How you doing, Tyvus?
The song named called Tipsy.
Oh, is that Jay Kwan? I didn't know that. Okay.
Thanks, Travis. Good talking to you, buddy.
Everybody in the club getting tips.
That's right. Yeah, that's right, Teddy. You know it.
Back page coming up. Colin Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
Southbound West Outer Belt, 2 right lanes blocked off from an accident between Cemetery and Roberts Road. Traffic there stop and go from Tuttle Crossing Boulevard up to a 30-minute delay. Also seeing some slow traffic westbound 670 between 5th and Neal Avenue, a 15-minute delay there. This report is sponsored by Cordell and Cordell. Cordell and Cordell, Divorce and Family Law, 866-323-7529, 866-323-7529. Cordell and Cordell, a partner you can count on. CordellCordell.com. I'm Eddie Zellick, 497.1 The Fan Traffic.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken, but when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Do you realize making the minimum monthly payments on your credit cards, it'll take nearly 20 years to pay them off? What if I told you there's a way for you to get them all paid off in just a matter of weeks? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Imagine wiping out all of your credit cards. Here's where you go. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Advantage First Lending is the easy button for tapping in to hundreds of thousands of dollars in your home equity. That's not the bank money, it's your money. Listen, your home, the value is way up. And now AFLcash.com has a super fast, hassle-free program that lets you turn that equity into cash. People who do this are living their best life, their credit card debt free, with cash left over for other stuff like home improvements, maybe a vacation. See how much money you can get now. Go to AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Say goodbye to greedy credit card companies. That's AFLcash.com.
Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
For 100 years, our passionate Atlas Butler has been helping people. From those who have relied on us for years to those who call us for the first time. For our team, their families, and our community, Atlas Butler is here to keep Central Ohio safe and comfortable with trusted, convenient service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Is it a game, a practice? Who cares? Join us for live coverage of the Ohio State Football Spring Showcase.
Coverage starts Saturday at 10. Sponsored by Crown Automotive Group in Dublin.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Feeling unsure about preparing your roof for spring storms? Newman Roofing is here for you. For over 30 years, we've helped homeowners understand their roof's conditions so they can make the best decision for their home. Stop worrying and call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit NewmanRoofing.com today. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman Roof.
Here's 3 reasons to buy your Blue Jackets ticket plans for the 25-26 season. 1, pick your seat and pick your games. 2, plans start at just 11 games. 3, priority access to Stanley Cup playoff tickets. Act now. Visit BlueJackets.com/tickets.
Can I get Mega Millions?
Good choice. Mega Millions is bigger than ever. Jackpots now start at $50 million and grow faster.
Sounds mega.
And now, every game has a built-in multiplier, so all non-jackpot prizes are multiplied between 2 and 10 times.
Bigger prizes, better odds, and just $5? Give me 2.
Mega Millions is bigger and better than ever. Get your tickets today at your local Ohio lottery retailer. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Buckeye Show coming up at the top of the hour. The host of the Buckeye Show, your friend and mine, Timmy Hall and Tyvis Powell.
Oh, you guys.
Timmy needed help for the half hour?
Yes, he did. He called in the big guns. You know, me and Tim have great relation. We have great chemistry on the microphone, you know. And you don't want to. You don't want to mess that up.
Timmy's just like, no, I didn't want to do a half hour by myself.
Tim loves me.
Well, Timmy was doing updates all day.
That is true. I love people that give. I love people that love me back, and Tyvis is one of those guys.
It's not a long list, but it's a good list.
Might be only the people in this room and sometimes Ted.
You did Sports Center updates today?
Nope.
No.
I was just giving him some crap.
That's too much.
He did play Ryan Day in ping pong.
I heard.
Smoked his ass.
I heard that you said it went to it got down to the wire.
We played a game to 11, and it got to a 10-10 deuce.
No, but the way that Timmy describes it is that he let Ryan Day have a couple points to get him up to deuce.
That's not what I said.
That's what you said. You did the gentlemanly thing and let him get to deuce.
Okay, but I did not have to do that, and I did it. It's like,
what does that mean?
What does that mean?
You let him score on you. That's what that means.
But we don't need to talk about that again and again. I chose to give him the point. So if he were then to beat me,
but you brought it up. The first time we talked about it, you're the one who said, well, I sort of let him, you know.
You wanted a full description, and I gave you the full description. Take that and do whatever
I'm just saying, if you really wanted to be a gentleman, you wouldn't have said a damn word about giving him points.
Well, it's on video.
If Ryan Day lost in ping, we got to talk to him about competitive excellence. Something that they preach in the Woody. He got to, come on now.
Competitive stamina?
No matter what it is, we could be walking to our cars. You got to get there first.
Oh, is that real?
You got to be a competitor in life.
Okay. That's, you know what, though? Sometimes it's just going to your car.
Nah.
Sometimes it's just,
they said
you're
if
just
you're not
walking
first,
to your car.
you're last.
Spoken like a loser, bro.
That's right, I know. That's like, as you got like linebackers putting their faces through their windshield like, I got here first! And it's like, yeah, but now you have a skull injury because you ran head first into your car.
But I feel like that's a no-win situation because then if you're the first one to your car, then the question is, well, why are you the first one to leave?
Yeah.
Why are you out of the facility?
Sorry, I
got things to do.
What do you got to do? It's better than the team.
Wife, kids.
Better than the team?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Never.
Yes, it is.
Fish has handed me the plug sheet for tomorrow. Boone Jenner will be on Morning Juice at 8:46. Adam Schefter, he's grumpy. He'll be on Rothman and Ice at 12:30.
Why grumpy? What happened?
He's just always grumpy.
Oh, that thing.
Zach Wierenski will be on Hockey and Hounds with Rothman and Ice at 1 o'clock. And then Wild Card Wednesday tomorrow and Jeff Rimmer on this show.
My goodness, I hope the Jackets win tonight.
Why didn't you play
Jacking it up tomorrow?
The sound.
What sound?
I love that. Play the Nittany Lion.
It's not Wild Card Wednesday.
No, but
he said it every time you.
Yeah.
Every time you say Wild Card Wednesday.
I like it when you do it better. Can you do it again?
Please do.
You do it again. Come on. Good job.
Did you like pretending to do the Wild Card Wednesday sounds at the beginning of the show last Wednesday?
I had to because Tim
was just screaming his head off when the show started last Wednesday. Or whenever that was.
Well, we were sort of in an emergency state. We had to go get whoever we could get to host that show.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel, right?
Oh, you have no idea.
We had Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. When we call Fit off, I wouldn't call him for nuclear winter.
We had a show that was a combination of myself, Tito sitting in the one chair for this show, and Tyvis.
You know what I call that? Box office poison.
Thanks, Norm.
I bet bored is spelled B-O-R-E-D. Right.
Yeah.
All right, what's coming up on the Buckeye Show? Big half hour.
Well, some bearded bites. We're going to see. We're going to play some clips from Ryan Day, so we're going to talk even less than is required for the 30-minute show. Wide receivers were talking today at the Woody. I'm curious about a number of players besides Jeremiah Smith that are going to step up this year and produce big-time seasons. So we'll hear from some of them. and the Buckeye men's basketball team. An interesting get in the transfer portal that we will discuss.
Buckeye Show, top of the hour, right here on the Fan. Back page.
The Back Page. The Back Page with Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Bone. All right, man. Try to follow this with me because it involves the Hawk Tua girl being back in the news.
Okay.
Glenn Powell, who's an actual Hollywood actor, he has a starring role. Yeah.
It's my cousin.
Lots of great stuff. That's right, Ty. That's your guy. Glenn is starring in the new Hulu comedy series Chad Powers, which Chad Powers is based off a character that I believe, if I'm not wrong, Eli Manning created when he tried to go undercover to a Penn State practice.
There's a show about that Chad Powers?
Well, remember how they did, like, Ted Lasso was just that goofy idea of, like, a football coach is coaching in the Premier League. It was a commercial, and then they turned it into
supposed to be a
whole
hit
thing.
Series. Yeah,
they're trying to do that again, I guess, with this Chad Powers thing. Anyway, Glenn Powell plays a former college quarterback who goes undercover to, like, go back and infiltrate another college football team. Anyway, in one of the episodes, he apparently bumps into Haley Welch, a.k.a. Hawk Tua girl, except in the show, she's just herself. She's just the Hawk Tua girl, and he is, you know, this fake celebrity. He's apparently gets drafted as this Chad Powers guy into the XFL, and that's what he's out celebrating when he meets her. And so the story goes from there. Anyway, her 15 minutes of fame have not run out just quite yet.
Doesn't she have the big podcast deal?
She does have a big podcast deal.
Talk Tua?
Would she ever be known for anything other than Hawk Tua?
Probably not.
It's not likely.
Like every time we say her, we can't. The Hawk Tua girl. Can it be something else?
I'm going to say
like
President Hawk Tua girl in 20 years.
I don't know. What does she think about the stock market? Does she have any ideas?
President Hawk Tua.
Let's talk to her. Let's
He's
talk
got
to
my
her.
vote, Travis.
Anything's possible.
He's got my vote.
Let's talk to her about
Maybe
the
she'll be
stocks,
Stephen
Tua.
A's VP. Stephen A. Smith and Hawk Tua. Coming to a ballot near you.
There we go.
Why no Shannon?
Oh, Shannon? Shannon's running independent with Ocho.
There we go.
Why you do that to me, Stephen?
Hey, Ocho.
I would watch. I would watch that podcast and vote for it, probably.
I said goose.
Anything's possible.
Buckeye Show's next. We'll see you tomorrow. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
Southbound west outer belt, now it's just the right lane blocked off from an accident between Cemetery and Roberts Road. Still heavy delays back from US 33, and northbound 71's got some slow traffic between I-70 and 11th Avenue. This report is sponsored by True Green. Back in the Miller's Yard, who now use True Green, their lawn started looking like a fairway, and pro golfers started showing up. They love playing this lawn. Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details. I'm Eddie Zellick, 497.1 The Fan Traffic.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-VEIN. That's 614-324-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey friends, Beamer here, 70 pounds down. Let that sink in. I'm officially 70 pounds down, all thanks to Awaken 180, and I've transitioned smoothly into maintenance mode. This isn't just weight loss, this is life-changing stuff. I've dropped over 13% body fat, my visceral fat points are down by 8, and honestly, I feel like a completely new man. The coolest part, Awaken 180 just doesn't say congrats and then wave goodbye. They prepare you for maintenance, so now I get to reintroduce to myself foods that I love. Pizza, ice cream, very excited about all of that. My mindset's completely different though now. Do I crave junk food? Honestly, no. Can I eat those things now? Sure. Will I? Absolutely. But the difference is I no longer feel like I need them all the time. And Awaken 180's free support for life means that this weight's staying off. My body's now working for me instead of against me. I'm finally at my healthy baseline weight. I feel awesome. Change your mindset, change your life. Awaken 180 made it happen for me. And if it can happen for me, it can 100% happen for you. Check them out online at awaken180weightloss.com. awaken180weightloss.com.
It's a different world today than it was 30 years ago when I started Care Heating and Cooling. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, 30 years ago, you were the first to warn of companies using service technicians as salespeople, of abusing the trust that a service technician has. With the big conglomerates now buying companies all over Central Ohio, this has become the normal business model.
It's all about greed. The conglomerates know they can make a lot more money by incentivizing their technicians to sell furnaces instead of fixing them. They train their techs to take advantage of a customer when they are the most vulnerable.
Dad, that is not how we were taught. In 2024, Care Heating and Cooling was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple of years, and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully, with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab, just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms